doing it. But we had real issues, like with my last D&D crew, where everyone would be on their phone, and the DM would be like, "Okay, what do you do?" And then there would be like silence for like a minute, and then finally someone
listening.
would
Yeah,
be like,
that's the only thing that would bother me is if you guys just aren't listening to what I said. But you guys usually like the most I get out of you guys. What was the last thing you said? Like I heard everything else, but I just saw something funny. What was the last?
Yeah, what was that?
What was that, Evan?
All right, so.
Goonies never die.
Ooh, they did die.
They all died. They're all dead.
They all died. The guy who played Sloth is dead.
Is he?
That makes me
He's a
sad.
male model.
He wasn't one of the Goonies.
He was a Goonie. Sloth was definitely a Goonie.
They just said he was in the gang so that he wouldn't rip them in half with his monster.
He helped them. They loved him. And he loved Chunk.
They didn't love them.
He loved Chunk.
Well, I can tell you that he got arrested pretty immediately after that movie. In canon, they arrested him.
They probably took him down on the beach.
He comes, what? They all escaped, and the cops showed up. We're just like, ah! And
Who is that?
Superman.
He was our friend. Well, go home, kids, and don't smoke the marijuana. What?
All right, get the bulldozers on in here.
Last time we played, I'm gonna go over some of this real quick here. Last time we played, you guys,
we helped Alex.
First of all, Alex had set up a team leader for his stealth squad, his goblin assassins, and that was Mum. And Mum is the goblin without a tongue. It was either cut out or he bit it out or he cut it out himself. And he is now the leader of the assassins. I think it was Esther that wanted the goblin blacksmith Clang Clang to watch very carefully how the dwarf Boris was repairing your magical item, which might be repaired at this point. Mav commissioned a blacksmith in Valnar named Roddy to build spiky dog armor for the already pretty terrifying spiky dog, whose skin is basically armor, so he's putting more armor on top of this beast. You learned about the kind of stuff you can do, right?
Yeah.
Did you look into that?
Yeah.
Those two spells? Okay. And then you guys had assigned who was going to go and take out the different power plants, I believe. So Katha and Vondus, a weird group, was going to go and take down one of these power plants. Sam and Clyde, the soldier who had attempted to do this before, and Clyde, the psychotic mercenary, were going to go take down another. Corlox, the betrayer, was going to go take down one by himself, as well as Mav. You were going to take down one by yourself.
Plus, the 20 goblins is going with it.
The power plants in Brightopolis are what sort of helps sustain the magical defenses around the main factory. For Garland Brighthand's factory. Now, wow. I believe that's what we were discussing last. What are you clicking on?
So if you need to roll, by the way.
Me?
Yeah.
What are you showing?
You can just roll individual dice, or you can do this.
I'm going to do... Was that 17 D8s?
17.
Well, that's perfect because
it was 17 D10s.
17 D10s. That's good because that's what the next boss does. That's how much damage he does. Yeah, so this is perfect. I'll just leave it like that.
But he gets 3 attacks. That's just 1 attack.
Is anybody else a little turned off from the digital dice subscriptions?
Wait, what?
Did you guys hear about that? The digital dice
Only my
subscription
subscriptions turn me on.
through D&D Beyond?
I just think it's dumb because there's like free stuff. Like if all of them were,
it is
digital
free.
dice subscriptions, but
it's free, but you can pay for digital dice.
Free.
Oh,
like
I see what
$4 a month or something, and it's like, why?
Yeah, the extra colors are necessary.
No, yeah.
No one sees them. Like real dice, okay, I get that.
I give them credit for trying, but that just reeks of
I just like the dice roll.
money pit.
One day everything will be digital.
My thing is too, why spend money on that when I could spend money on actual dice that are beautiful and I get to hold them?
Yes.
You know, like
So
I.
that's more.
I wouldn't pay for
I only brought it up because I opened my
Like,
character sheet and there was a
like that.
full screen pop up for it.
Why are you trying to shit on D&D Beyond, Jeff? We're
Yeah,
using.
we're sponsored by
It's
them.
been good.
Yeah,
no,
we're sponsored by
no,
them.
no, not sponsored.
We get all free shit. We never had to pay for
No.
anything.
No,
we pay for a
Because we
lot.
paid for it.
that's because we paid for it. Yeah, Amanda paid for it all.
Alex is like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's great. I have all this free
We should
stuff
get the
on D&D
Wild
Beyond.
I can
If
read
you
books.
guys, if you guys want, feel free to buy us more of these books so that we can give it back to you.
No, seriously, if there is one that you're looking at, I'll buy it for you just because of DMing for like 18 years
Are you
straight.
talking to us or the viewers?
I'm talking to you.
And the
you.
viewers.
I'm not talking
Also,
to the viewers. I never
real
talk
quick-
to them. I hate them.
Because I'm super late on this, real quick
He
shout
doesn't
out
mean that.
to Found Familiar Coffee, because a while ago I won a giveaway for them, and I said, oh, next time we're on stream doing the thing, well, I'll drink your coffee and say,
And
like,
then
it's
the
good, because
world
it is
ended.
good, and then the world fucking ended. Seriously, though, Found Familiar is great. Get their coffee if you ever looked at it. They're not sponsoring us.
Sound familiar?
It sounds like a sponsor.
Remember that?
That's
We
a
got
very
that
sponsor.
coffee that was Knoll? Remember it had the
It
hyena
was
on
pretty
it?
good.
Ooh.
We had it
Coffees
the
or
last
deep-
time we
Was
were
I?
over.
Did I have any?
No.
Yeah.
I'm
Did
not.
you?
He had a little
Amanda
bit.
doesn't let me
I
have
think.
coffee.
Because you
Good.
had that exact
Really
conversation. That was the exact conversation that happened. You were like, can I have some? And Amanda was like, no, you can't. And I was like, it is a little strong. And Evan was like, I'll just have a little bit then. So you did have some.
And then he started crying.
I started shaking and screaming and talking
It
about
smelled
the
really
menu
good.
had.
Remember? No, but all of their coffees are D&D themed. And then they do art that they commission from artists. And they put it on the bags and stuff. And each bag
Really?
has like different art. Yeah.
Oh,
And
I
then
love
when they
that.
send it to you,
Hell
they give
yeah.
you goodies like what is it? Business cards to other D&D related stuff, and a lot of people usually will like bracelets or D20s. I know they said they're working on a D20 for me right now with a coffee bean for the 20.
Oh,
So
no.
it's
And the mailman
They're-
punches you in the mouth.
I love
They're
how
so cool.
much. I love how D&D and RPGs and role-playing games, D&D specifically, is taking over and becoming like its own pop culture thing with like tons of, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
making more and more kind of merchandise that I genuinely would want to waste.
yeah,
money
for
on.
sure. So
I can't
that's
wait
my
until,
shameless plug for them. I lived up to what I said I would do months ago.
I can't wait till Hero Forge has the colored
Oh man,
minions,
yeah.
miniatures.
Oh, yeah?
Well, where they paint them for you?
Well, they print them colored.
Yeah, it
like you
comes
choose the
printed.
color scale and
Really?
everything, and
Yeah.
they print them all to like.
Ooh, I like that.
Friends
Yeah, I
world
like
is
that. If
getting
nothing
shook
else,
right now.
for the way that you'd be able, like, if they have that option, you can see what they would look like in certain colors.
Yep.
So even if
It
let's
would
say
save
you
more
wanted to
money
paint
and
them
they
That's
sell.
something
yourself,
they advertised, actually.
yeah,
Like, just use it
you know what?
to.
I haven't been on there in a while. I gotta
That's a
check
great
them
point.
out.
Did you hear that, Evan?
What?
They do have an option that you pay even more money and they hand paint them. It's like
Mhm.
good painters will paint them for you.
Good
I like it.
painters.
I gotta finish. Fuck. I gotta
Not the
finish.
kinds that get
When-
paid
when we
25
move.
bucks.
Yeah. we I was in the middle of painting like a pretty big thing, but now our lives have gone crazy because of all this shit, and now we're
Of course.
we're probably going to be moving in like a month, so it's all going nuts right now. But for the next campaign, I will be very prepared. But this one is just like like, we're here at the end, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm prepared. So, ladies and gents, the plan is get into Brightopolis, destroy those power plants, fuck up their whole business, get into Bright Hand's main factory, and fucking kill him.
So before Mav goes,
Yes.
I want to
What?
put my hands on his shoulders.
On Mav?
Yeah,
Okay.
and say good luck. And I'm casting Foresight.
On Mav?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you clever son of a bitch. How long does Foresight last?
8 hours.
I thought it was 1 hour.
8 hours.
You son of a... All right, so Mav, look up the spell Foresight. You now have...
Let me look it up on my Brightopolis phone. My
Now here's the
Arthur
thing.
phone.
I don't know if Mav was ready to go yet, but I guess within the next 8 hours.
He's ready. He's ready.
If
Within the
not,
eight-
I do it within 8 hours of Mav.
Gotcha.
All right. Let's see here.
I do it on his way out the door.
Because you guys still need to long rest to get all of your health back from the wisdom.
Oh God. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Just get your health back. If that was a freebie.
Are we full health?
Oh shit!
Yeah, you guys got pretty hurt, huh? What was that?
It's my Pokemon.
Your stupid Pokeball from Pokemon Go? You go ahead and fill your health. Let's say you all took a dip in the pool or something.
That's
I'm
what
not gonna
we
bust
did.
I like pool.
believe.
I
I think
just
we
say
ended
long
on.
rest.
You didn't,
Yeah,
did you?
I think.
Yeah,
someone
we
was at
did.
the
We
end.
did. You're right.
Oh, you did. You all took a
Okay.
dip. Sweet dip.
Willing creature, limited ability, see the immediate future.
Essentially, yeah. Which means I can't surprise you with stuff. Which
I have
for a
advantage
stealth-
on attack, ability, and saving throws.
And
And other creatures have disadvantage against me.
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah,
I love
What do they
that.
have disadvantage on?
On
Attacks?
attacks.
Oh my god, this sucks. Okay. Fuck that. OP Foresight. No, I like
I
it.
think
This
I
is
just
good.
picked up a feat too because I leveled, but anyways, I can't be having disadvantage, but I could be wrong on that.
So when she places her hands on you, Mav, and she says that, and you see in like a flash and in an instant hundreds of different variations of what could proceed over the next like 8
Lord.
hours, and you're like, it's like Doctor Strange when he's like looking in the thing for a million different. That's basically what just happened to you. You saw yourself die a few times. You saw a reality where Headhunter goes crazy and kills all of you. You saw a reality where Esther just decimates the entire party. You saw a reality where Astrid is eating all of your flesh on like a table. You saw a reality where Vondis is king of the world. You saw a reality where so many different things can happen based on the next 8 hours. And you saw,
Oh boy.
of course, you saw
The next
a
8
reality.
hours.
You saw a reality where well, no, the outcome.
How quickly
You
does it
saw-
get out of hand?
You saw a reality
Fast.
where this strange wizard with a great magical staff and a bizarre gauntlet on his hand is like laughing as you all lay dead in front of him. See quite a few different variations and a bunch of little things in between that will actually come into play.
Do any of them foresee me getting some ice cream?
There's one
That's
where you're
gonna-
getting ice cream, and it's you sitting there eating ice cream, and you're like, "Oh, that's not so bad." And then behind you, the entire city of Brightopolis is just on fire, and there's screaming and people being thrown from windows.
That's the goal.
And
I
you
was
Right
gonna
there.
say,
That's the goal.
the foreshadowing.
You see the Garistro leap from one building to another with a giant cowboy hat and a gun, going "Yeehaw!" as he's just firing at people, and you're like, "Oh, I like this. I like this song."
That's an art piece right there.
So
That's a
that
goal.
looks pretty good.
All right. Good.
So here's so that happens. You and then you wake back up.
Okay.
Slurp. Good luck. So are you heading out immediately?
I guess so. As soon as we're healed up, the assumption is that we had a little bit of time, right? Like between the last adventure and then what we're doing now.
Yeah,
I'm
can
down
say
to
that
leave
you did.
immediately. If
I will
everyone else is
say-
okay with that.
I'm okay with it. So if you're heading to Brightopolis, something you should know is you're at the tree. Brightopolis is probably like 3 or 4 days travel away.
Okay. Do we have the ship still?
Yeah,
Yes.
But
Can
if
we-
you want
You're a dick.
if you want a faster way to get there,
You did that on purpose.
if you want a faster way to get there, I'm gonna tell you what to do. But I am gonna shit on your dreams when you do them.
Well, do we have this knowledge? Because I wouldn't do it if we had this knowledge.
Wait. You do know that Arthur probably has a way to get you to the city faster.
Well, Amanda did have the stipulation that she cast that on me 8 hours before whatever happens.
Right.
It's just the assumption
That's
that this
true.
happens in the future.
That's true.
So-
So, do you guys want to take the days to ride there? Do you want to try to use a faster method, or do you want to ride in there in force and bring?
Do you want me to teleport you?
What?
Well, I mean,
Oh, I've never been there. Can I do that?
You can't. You've never been there.
Yeah.
Because
You
y'all
have
want
to
to
Never
bring
mind.
You have to travel to the place, then you can fast travel to the place.
Mhm.
y'all are bringing the small army with us, right? Like the Garistro and a couple different things, or am I remembering it
I
correctly?
think the
So that once,
Garistro's doing his own thing.
yeah, that's
Well,
true.
the Garistro is going to find some people to kill. If it's like, let's say it's like been a
Oh.
few hours.
Well, he could come.
He found some innocent creatures to kill. He has
There's
to
gonna
kill
be
innocent
plenty-
creatures every day.
Is there innocent creatures where we're going? Brightopolis?
Yeah. it's an
Well, that's
entire city.
perfect. Yeah.
He will come with you.
All right.
All right.
I'm just thinking, because our little crew, I think, is going in with one of the people saying she's gonna like put us in a cart or something, and then as soon as the walls were down, the plan was to have everyone else attack, correct? So whichever way we can get whoever else is everyone else there, I would say probably either the ship or talking to Arthur. You know what I'm saying? Am I making any sense, or am I just like way over?
No, I get it. You want to make
Yeah.
sure that you can get everybody there, right?
Yeah.
So how do you guys want to do that? Do you want to take the 3 days travel and bring an army across country?
I think that's too
I mean,
obvious.
I'm
Take
fine
the
with
airships.
I'm fine with that. If that's what we want to do.
Okay.
Can we take
So
the
you-
airships?
Yeah. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I'll be a captain of one.
Now, just so you're aware, the vast amount, like the 200 skeletons that you have, can't fit on these ships, and those
Why not?
200 skeletons are in Valinor.
Sorry.
If you want to march, you can march your army across. Your tons of goblins, your this is your that,
Well, can't they teleport?
So then you want to go talk to Arthur to see if you can somehow get them teleported over there. You'd have to go talk to Arthur.
Oh.
Or Winan to see if he has like vehicles and stuff for you.
Well,
Which he did say he was working on. So he may have a bunch of vehicles for the goblins and shit to drive, which might not be great, but
Can my
Some-
skeletons drive the vehicles?
I just imagine them in bugs, like
on
little Volkswagen bugs.
motocross motorcycles.
So I'm in love with this idea, and it's fantastic.
They're all like Spinal from Killer Instinct.
Oh my god,
Beautiful.
I love it. That's fucking cool. And I just think I'm imagining like Mad Max, but undead Mad Max, skeleton Mad Max, and I'm
I mean, it's
loving
whatever.
every second of it.
I don't know what kind of vehicles he has made.
You want to talk to him?
You whining?
Yeah.
Sure. Whining. Excuse me. Whining.
I freed myself. I'm just kidding. I was taking a nap. How are you, Miss Astrid? How are you this beautiful day?
What kind of vehicles do you have ready and prepared for us?
So all kinds of all-terrain vehicles. We're working on tanks right now, but those are specifically for Arthur and his use. But currently, when it comes to traversing the roads, we have plenty of cars.
How many?
Hundreds. Hundreds of them. We can fit multiple soldiers in each. We have a couple of armored personnel carriers that we've been working on. Everybody was a little skeptical at first about working on such nasty machinery, but I simply told the workers that we are doing it to defend us against the terrible three.
Whoa.
Isn't that good?
Whoa.
Anyway. Oh my god.
So we have hundreds of vehicles.
I have become the government lying to the people. It feels so good to be in power.
So do
Anyway.
we want to take the airships with as much people as possible and then have the rest ride in? I'm not talking,
I don't know.
I'm not talking to
I'm so sorry.
Is that what we want to do?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were catfighting with
See,
wine.
Jeff wasn't paying attention.
Jeff wasn't paying
reading
attention.
Jeff
Facebook.
was on Reddit.
Jeff
I was reading my
Jeff was on
stats.
Reddit,
Jeff was
talking all those Reddit.
I was literally looking at Cloak of Displacement.
Given that to you?
What?
Didn't you get the Cloak of Displacement? Like
Yeah,
twice?
I'm wearing it.
Okay, I thought so. I did give that to you like twice, and you kept missing the. Anyway, I'm sorry.
I'm rejecting it.
Let the
That was
skeletons
my fault
drive.
this time. This time I distracted us. I apologize. You asked what?
Do we want to ride the airships and take as many as possible on them, and then have the rest ride in on the hundreds of vehicles that we have from Winan?
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
that type of assault should be on the main city. I don't think we need that much for Brightopolis.
Well, we're gonna have to do both, I think.
She means to transport, like simply to get from point A to point B.
Because they won't all fit.
You
in the
might want
airships.
all of these vehicles that can drive them.
What is?
Because you have several miles.
Why don't we pack them in the basement of the Shadow? What's your
Can we
tower
make
called?
like a hangar in the Dusk Keep?
Dustkeep.
And then
Yeah.
us fly in,
You
and then I'll bring up
you
the.
could absolutely do that if you want to raise the dust keep in front of Brightopolis. You can do that
Or in Brightopolis.
If possible,
if possible.
because the magic.
Brightopolis has a lot of magical protections.
Yeah, you've learned since the last time not to.
You know
allow that happen
the
again.
funny thing is I have. I have. What's the best way to end a war? Build your house under their house and make it stand up.
I did it.
I did it.
The war's over.
All your friends are dead.
Can I still take the little ship and fly over there with a little?
I think you absolutely should take both of the
Yeah, we're
ships.
taking them.
That way we have air support.
All right, I want to start making a hangar at the Dusk Keep.
Okay. Simple enough. Do you remove like the big maze?
It doesn't
Like
have-
in place of the maze, do you build the big hangar?
Don't
If
Remember,
listen
you
to him.
you have a limited amount. You have a limited amount of room. You only have a mile on each. You know.
No, fuck that. I
One
want to
square
take all of
mile.
that
Do you
and
see what
raise
he's
it
trying
up.
to do? Don't
Put
listen
the
to
hangar
him.
underneath it.
You put the hangar underneath of it,
Yes.
so then that cuts a little bit into
Stop
the
it.
dungeon, right?
Stop trying
No.
to free him.
No, I lower the roof.
No, not him. There's another maze you built. There's a maze you built for when the people when all of the soldiers invaded and they were getting torn apart by
I
your.
thought you meant the other maze.
No. That I imagine you keep like pretty secure.
No, I
Because you have an
lower
apex,
the
a crazy
turrets. I don't make
apex.
it. I don't make it as high up. Fuck my Disney castle. I can make it short and squat if I have to.
So you raise it up and build this hangar underneath it.
Yes.
Massive hangar. Yeah, you can definitely fit a lot of fucking people in there.
Mhm.
And sure enough, if you have your skeletons teleporting from Valnar to here, they can just start filing in. All right, so I'll say you are putting all the soldiers that are loyal to you, your goblins, your 200 skeletons. Do you have any giant skeletons left? I think you do.
Do I? Because I think I deleted them. Because I didn't think I had them anymore.
You know what? You left them at Holy Stone Mine to help fight while you got all the soldiers out, or the prisoners. Oh,
I
you do have a bunch of prisoners,
I
by
have
the way,
corn
that
dollars,
have
though.
have decided to help you. The ones that were
Okay.
sort of deemed like dangerous. So there's people with like
Oh,
ramshackle armor and stuff like that, all sort of gearing up, ready to roll, and are getting their shit together. They have like miscellaneous weapons. They've been like training with the goblins and stuff, and they hate the kingdom with such ire. So you have like a good maybe like I don't know, probably like 2,000 people who are ready to fucking kill the kingdom.
I like
In
it.
total, with the skeletons, with the goblins, with everything, probably have like 2,000.
Okay.
2,000 or 3,000. Which is not a very big force, but if you do this right, it'll be enough.
It's all we have.
So, you are gathering that. Yeah. Do you guys get your... Are you ready to go? Is there
Can
anything else you guys want to do
I
here at the tree?
check my...
Yeah, you can. All right.
I want to go down to
You go
the
down.
forge.
I was hoping you'd leave without it. So you go down there, and as you go down there, you see Boris as he is kneeling, and he has several candles lit around him and the item, and you can see Clang Clang, the goblin, is sitting there just like in awe watching him, and the item is on like the anvil, and as you walk down, or as you ding, come out of the shitty magic elevator, Boris opens his eyes and kind of looks to you. And he stands up, grabs the serpent staff, which you can see does not look the same. It looks a little different, but it does look like it's working. You can see, however, that it has some like metal, like fused into it. Like he had to put metal in it. And he brings it to you and says, "I had to reinforce. Is difficult, weird, and strange magic, but dwarven ingenuity. It always, it always does what it must." And he gives it to you. So it is the coiled serpent staff, but there's like coils of metal in there, like metal wires, kind of.
And you trust that it works the same way as it has?
Yeah. Might be different, but will be good.
I appreciate this very much.
Mm. And he turns to the goblin Clang Clang, and he looks to you. This one, I like it.
You wish for him to go back with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
You know, you have free reign to come here as well.
I may, but this place, there's too many bugs. It's weird.
It's an acquired taste.
I think I will go to Holystone Mine. I think I will bring my people there and begin to make it our own, defend it, keep the kingdom from taking it back.
Good luck.
And he just nods and begins to walk. "Come, apprentice." And Clang Clang's like, "Ha, ha, ha," and starts following him, carrying like a bunch of stupid shit, like little metal tongs and stuff. And he's very, very excited.
We might eventually have mountain goblins.
Oh my god.
That's a
It's gonna be an
horrifying
interesting
concept.
rune.
Dwarf culture and goblin culture mixed might be something very fun that I need to mess with, because that's
Yeah.
awesome. And yeah, that seems pretty badass. So you have your serpent staff. It seems the same. It just looks a little different.
I'll put it back on, but I'm not going to try it right now.
Okay. As you go to place it on, it and coils around your arm again, and you're like, "Oh, okay." You know, all right. It wraps right around again.
Interesting.
Now, whether he's in there or not, I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I can feel him.
I know he's here. He's close to me.
So, so you got your shit. Is there anything you guys wanted to do last minute to prepare while you're here at home?
No.
Okay. Then, as you go out to see the, I'll say you guys are prepared. The Dust Keep is probably right there. And as you look out upon it, you can see tons of goblins with like these flying bugs and, you know, the huge beetles and shit. They're going into this huge, massive fucking hangar. You see skeletons come pouring out from the tree. They just climbed they were being teleported in where the Lacuna Pool is and just climbing up the elevator shaft, like swords in their mouths and shit. And they all come from. These were all the cultists that you have now kind of armored out with weaponry. And yeah, I will say that, so you weren't doing the vehicles, right? You're going to let him keep the vehicles for Arthur's army. You're going to use the keep as your delivery system, correct?
Delivery system, yes, but I think we want to take an airship in, correct, Amanda?
Yeah, I think you're still going to take the 2 ships to fly you there, or just one. It's up to you. I can't remember exactly what you said,
Yeah,
and,
I'm
and
gonna
that'll
take
be your
ships and have like a little space pirates cavalry come in. I'm gonna take all the goblins that can shoot though, so that we have like air superiority.
Okay, and which ship are you taking?
Did any of you want to ride on the other one, or you want me to put that in charge of a goblin?
So
Alright.
we have. I'm
I
sorry,
can't
Talia.
remember.
We
No,
have
you're
the
good.
pirate,
Go.
the ghost ship, and the repurposed wind dancer,
dancer?
right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the dancer.
Yeah, you don't have any other airships.
Okay, yeah, no, I figured then we'll go with the pirate ship, and Alex, if you wanted to take the wave dancer to do whatever.
Yeah, I'll do that one.
Awesome. Okay, so you guys, the two ships are landing. Your little masses are pouring into this massive hangar that's like a fucking mile long. Underneath the God, I just thought about how big that actually is. Yeah, you really can fit pretty much everything in there. All
Like
of your
fucking Halo.
horrible creatures, some of your plant zombies that you had at Valnar are coming and pouring out. The weird little experiments that you might have been working on. What about your big boy? Does he stay with you?
Yeah.
He's always by your side?
Mhm.
Oh, God. I expected you to, like, send him places, but he's going to be a problem.
He's my bodyguard.
He's going to be a problem for me. Is it him and then the two Shisuva coiling around you at all
Oh my
times?
god.
Great. Super good for me in any fight. Great. Fun. Awesome. All right. That's my fault. So
I did that.
you see the Garistro walking in with the gun, and he looks, and you can see you can see him go like, "Come on!" And you can see a Canolith run by him as the Canolith, not your Canolith. Remember, you had two.
Good.
This Canolith seems to have taken a shine to him, which is strange because he's a demon, and the Canolith is mostly for devils, I believe.
Devils and demons.
it's like a
brokering
theme.
peace. Breaking
You're
down
gonna
those
broker
barriers.
peace. I will build Jeff an entire campaign revolved around that idea if you want, but it's most certainly not this one. But
Why
I
don't we
can
just
do
take a
that
quick
for you.
shortcut to go do that?
I hate it. Don't do that. So back
I've
to
been
hell.
thinking, guys.
So you see him like come on as it comes and follows him. Your Canolith is with you, Mav. I can say that you've gathered the repairs and the armor for him. Say it's like been a day or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Time is sort of Mobius in this area. So he has. So what was the purpose of the armor that you wanted to put on your Canolith, Talia? Was there a reason that you wanted?
I wanted it so that he's already kind of tanky, so I'm not really worried about his AC. I wanted it so that if something did get a hold of him, that it would hurt them to do so. Like my armor does.
Okay,
like
so
if
every
someone were to
time
grab
somebody-
me, they'd take damage.
So he, when you see him, he looks like it's him, but he looks like a fucking porcupine of like hard steel
Beautiful.
sticking out of him as he and like very excitedly starts running around. You can see that there are two goblins skewered on here that he might have rolled on top of or ran
Oh
past,
my
and they're
goodness.
very dead, just kind of flopping around on there. Or they might have tried to jump on him to ride it. You don't know. They're goblins. So anyway, you guys see this before you, your little force amassing. Yeah, and you guys are ready to go if you want.
I say we do
Hey,
it.
Alex.
We just hear it.
That's fine. So, so Alex goes over to his wave dancer. You guys all go, and with his pack of goblins, the little shooting goblins, as well as Shoot goes with him. I think Slash would definitely go with the main fighting force, and Sneak will go wherever you want him to. Do you want Sneak to be on one of the ships with you guys, or do you want him to be with the main?
He should probably stay with Alex. Just
Okay,
because.
so I'll say Sneak is on the board with the Alex. Yeah, because he's an assassin too, so he might want to, So anyway, you guys have all your forces and your ships lift off, traveling westward, northwest to Brightopolis. Now, ow, my arm. As you guys travel on my finger.
Are we traveling on your finger?
Stop it. As you guys travel, you have several days. You have about 3 days. Well, no. On the airships, you're much faster. You have probably a day. Yep, probably about a day. A car alarm?
No, it's a car speeding down the road.
Oh, we've had a lot of cars driving through
Yeah,
here, blaring their
What's
horns and
going
spraying,
on every Sunday?
We had that.
spraying silly string everywhere.
They did it again today.
Yeah, they're just.
I don't know about that.
Now it's a bunch of pickup trucks, so I can only assume it's people that are protesting the stay at home. I'm just gonna assume. I'm gonna be that guy and just assume
I think we had a little kid's birthday party down our street, and I think they were just being kind. But yeah, I don't know if it's people being kind or people being schmucks.
Maybe.
Like, yeah. So since Alex ran away, I just drank my whole Dunkin' Donuts thing. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. Sorry. Give me 2
That's
seconds.
okay. You go.
Yeah.
You go pee. I will say while you guys are both on the ghost ship, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
don't
Alex
think
is. Yes.
I am. Aren't I on a cart? Or are we? No, you're right. We're on a ship and then yeah. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
I'm
because
done.
you're all
Okay.
going. You're
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
the
yeah.
2 ships, to the city. So, and I think Alex wanted to be on the Wave Dancer, and you guys, like last time, all wanted to be on the So he's riding with all the goblins. You guys are riding with the crew. The ghost ship is much bigger, so I'll say that's probably where Corlox, Sam and Clyde, Vondus, and Katha are. So if you guys wanted to go over any plans with them or talk with them, you can. They're just sort of putzing around the ship.
Bondus is on this ship?
Yeah, because Vondas and
No.
Katha are a team.
Because he wants to be with Katha because they have to plan for this. So currently, yes, this ship has more room. Katha is working on stuff down in under the deck. So Vondus is with her, yes, because they have to do their plans. So she's doing stuff down there, working on some shit. You know that Corlox is just standing on the deck, kind of like looking around, like glorious Louise Guzman, a completely naked glorious Louise Guzman with pale white eyes. Captain Mulch is, of course, just sort of commanding his ghost crew of like sea monsters and shark people. His crew.
People?
Some of them, they're different. They're different kinds of people that are like aquatic sort of. So there is like a shark person. There's like a barracuda woman, where she's got like the gnarliest fucking teeth
All I'm
ever. And she's
thinking
super
is
slim.
SpongeBob.
Like that.
No, just like all the characters.
All the characters of SpongeBob, but just
Oh,
not
well,
really.
I do
Pearl.
love that. Larry the Lobster.
Pearl.
Pearl would be too big, I think. No. You know where there definitely is? A killer
Mr.
whale.
Krabs.
You know, like an orca? I've seen art of like orca people, and it's the scariest shit I've ever seen in my life. Like they're huge and just like, they're the worst. But yeah, so shit like that. There's like a lobster man, and he's lifting weights. That's Larry the Lobster, definitely, without a doubt. There's a couple of other shark people. And Mulch is sort of like a big ass great white shark, with a fucking grinding thing for his arm.
Grinding thing. Beautiful.
But yeah,
Yes,
so
sure.
if you guys want to talk to any of them, go over any of the plans or anything like that, you feel free to do so. Or I can, fast forward to what happens on your travels. Do you want to speak to Corlox, Esther, or did you guys want to speak to Katha and Vondus, or did you want to go over the plan with Sam? Sam and Corlox have fought Garland
Each other?
Brighthand before.
Mhm.
No, they've fought Garland before, so they know what to expect of him. If you guys, and they gave you a little bit of a tidbit before, but if you wanted to refresh yourselves, you could.
I want to go talk to Sam and see what her plan is for getting us into the city. Because I know she said I know we agreed we were disguising ourselves as something, but in case we get just so that we can know what our alibi is.
Okay, so you go down to another like under the deck, and I'm gonna say those two are hanging out in the brig, where like there's like bars and stuff, and you can see that they've used the cells and filled up the cells with crates of like weaponry, and Clyde is currently ripping them open and putting them on the ground. You see him like picking out all these like badass guns and like grenade launchers, and Sam is like, well, we're not going to be able to bring all of it, and he's like, well, we don't have to bring all of it, we can just bring what's going to be the most fun to use. And she's like, all right, then I vote the grenade launcher with the barrel drum. And he's like, yeah, the barrel drum's pretty good. Think about the rocket launcher. And she's like, yeah, but it's too big, it's ridiculous. And he's you're right, compact is better. So they're just sitting there going, it sounds like they speak each other's language because they are akin to what Headhunter does. This is their shit. You know what I mean? Like they use technology and weapons as opposed to, magic.
Right.
So yeah, you walk in and they're just sort of discussing like different armaments to use and ordinances.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're so quiet. Yeah, what can we do for you?
I wanted to go over our plan one last time before we get into the city.
Absolutely.
What are you disguising us as, Sam? Not necessarily disguising us as, but how is our plan?
How are we getting in?
Yeah, because I, out of character, cannot remember what we agreed on. If it was like
Okay,
influencers or something.
My plan was this. I'm going to be simple. I drive a cart into town. Now, the good part about Marcellia and all of the towns here is that they were, not so much anymore because of you guys, but they were pretty lax on security. And you were able to just get in because they always wanted to be welcoming because, they're humanitarian. So now they're going to be doing a little bit more checks and balances. But if I come in wearing a disguise, which I can do, I have a disguise kit, I'm a spy, it's what my shit is. We have some forged documents, which I already have. We're able to get in by having the proper things, looking unthreatening and things like that. I have you guys in the cart under some tarps and shit. Hopefully I'm going to be able to talk my way past the guards and without them checking too thoroughly. And then we're in the city. Once we're in the city, we're pretty golden. It's a huge city, lots of people, lots of things going on. So we'll be able to blend right in. We get right to each one of the power plants. I drop each person off, and then I end up at mine. So I would drop you off at yours, and then me and Clyde would go to ours. So that's if everything goes off without a hitch. Now, we could, if it goes south, we could just start fighting our way from the beginning. And if we do, it's going to be tricky to get everybody to each power plant, but we can do it. But all the while, we're going to need the assault to happen at that time because otherwise all the heat's going to be on us and we're going to die. So, something to think about.
I could be a distraction.
Okay.
Is he listening to us? Are you listening to us?
Is that kind of the plan, Alex?
Do you want to be a distraction? Because that might be awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know you guys were on comms, but yeah, I could I could just
You're on a different ship.
We are now.
Shit in the ships.
Well, Headhunter, if you want to be a distraction, then that would be great. If you get into the city, you sneak into the city somehow, and I'm not sure how we would get you in, as you're one of the main three. But if you're able to get in the city and you just start causing a bunch of havoc, I mean, that would be perfect. And because Clyde is there currently, he goes, what about sewers?
We have to sneak in, or can we just fly in?
So you can't.
We have
fly
to
in
sneak
the
in.
cities. Yeah, the city is protected by a force field. It stops like missiles, things, and flying apparatuses like this. And
So
Clyde's
that's
like,
why
the sewers.
the
I could
strike force and me are going in to bring the thing down so that a big assault can happen.
Yeah, I'll take the sewers then.
Well, I didn't check out the sewers. I don't know for a fact that you'd be able to get to the place that you're supposed to. And Clyde just goes, sewers always work. Fucking sewers. I mean, every city needs a sewer. Spits it out. You walk in the side, and you're good. It's got to shit the bad shit out somewhere. It'll work.
It has to shit the bad shit out somewhere.
I mean, he's not eloquent, but he's
Right.
not wrong. I personally, I wouldn't choose it because it's not something that I know for a fact I can. I plan a little bit too much, but maybe if you wanna try your hand. Mav, did you want to go with him and do that your own way, or did you want to stick with me and do the cart?
I'm going to stick with you because even if his distraction doesn't work, I'm confident enough that we could probably get this shit taken care of.
It's gonna work.
Yeah, I mean, what we definitely would have to our benefit is the element of surprise, as you guys have your other attacks have grown more and more brazen. I don't think they would expect such a subterfuge sort of thing this time. You just straight up attacked Holy Stone, so they'd probably expect that again. I could add a benefit saying that I'm a refugee trying to run, and that would help us. So yeah, so that's my plan. That's what I'm thinking. I know Katha is whipping something special up. Me and Clyde here have all the weapons that we need for when we hit we should be fine. Do you need anything? I mean, you do. You're just sort of a one person with goo all over you.
Oh, me? I thought you were talking to Alex. I'm sorry.
No, I'm talking to you. No, I think
No.
Headhunter's fine. He has like an army of goblins or something. I don't know. They all had guns. They all seem pretty good with them. But
Don't underestimate me. I should be okay.
All right.
I'm not concerned about myself at all.
All right. And Corlox doesn't seem to be preparing at all. He just seems to be staring off in the sky. So I don't
to be
know.
his deal.
I don't know. I fully expect him to die because I don't know what that guy's all about.
Some weird spooky shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it, but some weird spooky shit.
Hey, can I ask you, what is with your group? And I don't mean that in a bad way, but where did they come from? What are they all about? I mean, I was captured by the people of Mystelia, and I've never heard in the past 200 years of history of anybody being able to do this to this country. I mean, this kingdom has been fucking solid. It's powerful. My empire was a little worried about them because they were so organized and good at what they did, and they had some sort of connection to their god. How are you guys kicking their ass?
I could not tell you. For all intents and purposes, none of the things that we're doing should technically work because we're kind of a mess. And I don't really know these people all that well, if I'm being really honest with you. I don't know Astrid's last name. I don't know what Esther's favorite color is. But sometimes all you need is
I like that. That was my feature, my favorite color.
You think? And again, I don't mean to be stirring the pot or causing any bullshit, but should we be worried about them at all? Is there anything that I should know about them that's going to pop up in the middle of this mission?
The other people that we're working with?
Yeah. Does one of them just like to fucking skin people for no reason in the middle of a mission? Like, are there things that I should be aware of?
She says, next to someone who wears people's faces.
Clyde does look over and goes, she goes, well, at least you're fast about it. I'm practiced.
I think, honestly, the things that you have to keep the most eye on are the people that we've picked up along the way. For the most part, the people that I run with are nuts, out of their fucking minds in a lot of ways, but they're predictable. But Corlox, why doesn't he wear underwear? Like, you never know. When you
I don't. I thought he was like some sort of ghost or something because he just sort of stared at everything. No. He was cold all the time.
Unfortunately, he's very cool. He does exist. So that's what I would say. That's who we've got and what we've got to work with.
All right. Well, and she looks over to Clyde and then back to you. We can't always choose, our partners, but
okay.
We do our best. And Clyde goes, yeah.
She quite literally chose him. Oh.
Yeah, he was kind of the only choice, though. It was either that or the naked man who stares into nothingness. So I'd rather go with someone who uses guns like me.
That's fair.
But all right. Cool. Good luck.
So that conversation happens, and I want to approach Corlox, also dressed as Luis Guzman, and just stand looking over the side like he is.
You stand. You are also as Luis Guzman standing over the side, but in your robes, I assume, as he is just proudly standing completely naked, Luis Guzman. As the ship hands kind of move to and fro, and he looks over to you. You nervous?
Why did I think we were related?
What?
I don't know. Usually I have a pretty good read on these things, but I don't think we're related.
Are you talking to him?
Yes.
And he kind of looks you up and down and he goes, I mean, you do look just like me.
I know, and that's what wigged me out. And it's okay if we're not. But I just wanted to, I don't know. It had to be said before we go into battle. And even if we're not related, I'm glad that we were on the same path.
He looks to you. Would it be so bad if we were related?
No, because I think we chose to wear the same skin. And maybe that's stronger than any bloodline.
Are you looking for relatives, Esther?
I was at one point, but I don't really care so much anymore. Now that I have an inkling of the truth. I know what I am.
Do you? What are
I
you?
do. An abomination.
He kind of looks a little confused at that. An abomination? What do you mean? What are you talking about?
It's a story that maybe I can tell you after this.
You know, Esther, nothing for nothing, but being that I am what I am, going to other places like this, I'm not from here, and neither are you. And he looks at you like that. And when I came here, you know what everybody called me? They called me a fucking monster. Oh, look at this fucking monster. We gotta kill it. We gotta kill it. And I mean, they were right. I did eat people, and I did freeze people to death. And I did rip people in half and throw them through buildings. Sure. But I never thought myself as a monster. Though I can be monstrous. Do you know what I mean?
I do. But I think, not that I'm giving advice, but maybe you should have been okay with being seen as a monster.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm okay with scaring the shit out of my enemies. And I'm okay with spreading fear and terror everywhere. Korlax the Betrayer is the name to be feared. No doubt, don't forget about that. But I am not a monster. I am Korlax. And he looks to you. I am Korlax the Betrayer. Not a monster. Not the monster. Korlax. And I make sure that people know the name Korlax the Betrayer. Not a monster. Because that's where the power is, Esther. Yeah, you might be an abomination, but that's not what or who you are. You are Esther. And you are any title that you choose. And he looks out. There's power in that. And people remember that. And people fear that.
I look out with him. His dong flapping in the wind.
So as he's staring out, and yeah, we'll end on that. It's a nice moment. As you guys staring out. So, Alex,
Yes.
you have, you wanted the long-ranged goblins with you.
Yes.
You have Shoot and Shoot's entire squad, which has grown. Shoot has like an entire platoon of people basically that are like assault rifles and snipers and shotguns and handguns. The goblins have been training each other now after you kind of kickstarted it, and Shoot has overseen the long-range sort of firearms and such. There are ones with bows if there wasn't enough ammo to go around. There's even a few goblins with light machine guns, compliments of Wynan, which are like, they, are sitting there. The guns are massive, but they're like, and it usually takes two of them.
Two goblins to carry them.
It's two, yeah. So one has like a padded shoulder and a big like thing on the side of their head so that they don't go deaf, and they put the barrel on them, and then the other goblin like readies it and just, so they have like a whole setup. And they're like pretty heavily armored. Some of the shotgunners, it's a pretty impressive squad that they have here, and Shoot is in charge of them. They listen to her. You also have Sneak on your boat, who was just kind of chilling. Slash is with the main force to run in on foot, because Slash has become sort of like a little commander. Is there anything that you wanted to go over with them, or make sure that they knew, or anything that you wanted to do? Take any of their guns or anything?
I'm just going to tell them the plan, which is to get outside the city, sneak into their sewage ducts, and emerge from underneath the city at nighttime. I'm assuming that's the best time to attack. I'll take the Sneak. Him and his squad will go in first, so that they have the element of surprise. And then after they're all in the streets, we'll take like the other ground forces and just start lighting everything up. Do they have a military base, or like a
Yes.
police? Okay, so that's where we're gonna.
They have both. They
Okay.
have like guard stations, like police
Mhm.
stations, and they have one large military base. You can have. It depends on how you want to handle it. You don't have enough goblins to cover all of them,
Yeah,
but it depends on kind of what you want to do.
I guess we're gonna target the armory of the military base and try to loot it.
Ooh, yeah, okay. And Sneak is thinking, and he goes, "What about booms in places?"
Yeah, the bigger the boom, the better we did our job because we're trying to distract all the forces to emerge on us while our teammates are doing their work.
If we do guards, booms in the guards' houses, right? And we take armory from the military. Oh, right, you speak Goblin, so you can speak normally.
Yeah.
And we take the military base. Then the guards, when they go to leave or when the police go to answer and try to help, they explode.
Perfect.
And I
Sneak
can
and
go
his
in.
squad will plant the bombs.
The stealthy squad?
Yeah.
Okay. We can do. Ooh, I'm excited.
And then the shoot and his squad, they should all start getting prepared with like heavy armor and whatnot.
They sort of start nodding their heads and go down into like the lower parts. The office that was once Carla Lily's office is now this ridiculous
Armory.
sort of thing. There's also a bunch of weapons held in the like sort of the sort of unpredictable core now that's down in the bottom. So like this like it's like zapping arcane energy down there. That's where they keep a lot of their explosives. So they're like, yay! And they go and start getting like armor and like armaments and stuff and preparing.
I just advise them not to keep the explosives near the core, but if they listen.
And they look at you, but if it explodes, it'll be big.
Yeah, but it would kill us all.
And they look confused, and they're like, but it'll be big.
But we won't be there to enjoy it. That's why we cause big booms on our enemies so we can enjoy it. If big boom happened to us, we don't get to enjoy it.
But if there's one boom, you keep the other booms near it so it's bigger. And Sneak comes over and grabs and like taps you and goes and looks to the goblins and goes, Headhunter does not understand the big booms. And he looks to you and goes, he apologizes. And they all go, okay.
Move the big booms.
And they look at you. All right, move the big booms. They all start doing it. Okay. So, was there anything you wanted to go or talk to or do as you guys are traveling? All right. So it's been about half a day's travel. A few hours go by, and you're reaching, it's about halfway through your trip, there's kind of a mountain range down to the right, and you can see there's some sort of battle going on down there. It looks like armed forces, Marcellian forces, whether they're from Erangel or Brightopolis, kind of hard to tell from here, fighting what looks like a very big horde of some sort of creatures, some kind of monstrous creatures. But you'd have to kind of take a closer look and see what's going on. Did you guys want to investigate this strange battle? As there don't look like vampire forces, and the vampires wouldn't have been able to get this far south just yet. So this is some unrelated fight that you guys aren't in control of or didn't cause, and they are attacking Marcellian forces. Is it of any interest to you?
I mean, do we care?
It's a lot of monsters down there, a lot of bad guys, but
Yeah, but
I
we're
kind
bad
of-
guys.
you don't have to care.
I kind of care.
Okay.
What do you want to do then, Esther?
I will be right back.
So we're flying right now.
Yeah, you're approaching it. You see it, and Mulch probably lets you know, there's something going on down there. Looks like a battle.
You don't say.
Why are you laughing at my voice?
Not your voice,
The observation.
your observation.
What is?
All right.
What do you think it is, Captain?
Well, it's a battle, but
Can we approach?
I
Get a
certainly
little
can.
closer.
You want me to fly down and start bombing the Marcellian forces?
Sure.
Ha ha! Fuck them! And he goes, "We're diving, boys!" And they all, "Ah!" And they start readying the like flak cannons, and the ship. Headhunter, you see the ship ahead of you start diving down, and you look, and it looks like they're diving towards some sort of battle down there. And some of the goblins, while you're looking, the goblins like pop up around you, and they're like, and they look to you like excitedly.
Hell yes.
Yeah! And so they all start readying cannons, and some of them are like readying bombs to throw. And they're just like, yeah. One of them has a torpedo somehow, and like they're like, and like trying to figure out how to aim it. So the ship starts going down. There's this battle happening, and you see that the Marcellian forces. Now that you're getting closer, it looks like they're in like silver and blue, and it looks like the colors of Brightopolis. It's kind of like blue and silver. And they are fighting what looks like to be these large animal-like people. And as you get closer, you realize that it looks like an army of gnolls. They're like hyena men, big fucking 6-7 foot hyena men. And they look like they're using like more simplistic weapons, but there's a lot of them. And the Marcellian forces are a little outnumbered, but have like superior firearms. And as they are driving, you can see that Mulch starts swinging down towards the Marcellian forces and starts broadsiding his ship and kind of tilts the whole ship this way. And like you see a bunch of shit start sliding. Some of the people are like, "Oh, Corlox doesn't move." As the ship moves this way, he stays like this, almost like he's stuck to the thing and still kind of folding his arms, like. And as Corlox just. Or not Corlox, but the grinder, the SS grinder, just starts firing these huge fucking just globs of like shrapnel down onto the Marcellian forces. Now, Alex, as the ship is bombing the main, like just hitting Marcellian forces, you can see that there are different vehicles. You can see that there are different kinds of units. One of the goblins brought you a little telescope that they made. Now, unfortunately, it's also a kaleidoscope, which makes it very unfortunate. But as you're looking through this psychedelic dope-ass telescope, you do see what looks like some of those big-ass soldiers, like with the golden armor, the ones who were, like, brainwashed inside of there. There's a good number of them, and they're fucking tearing up some of these gnolls, but the gnolls are viciously still going after them. These creatures are tenacious. Like, they just don't give a fuck. They're like, fuck these guys. And they're really fighting.
We can make the gnolls allies.
Well, possibly, but they'd have to survive this. But there's different units, vehicles, some tanks and things like that. Is there any particular units that you'd wanna bring down? There's like a couple of the Humvees with like chain guns on them firing.
The big vehicles.
The what?
The big vehicles.
So you want to go aim for some of the tanks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's like maybe 3 tanks in this. So as you start flying over, the goblins listen to you, huh? Okay, and the ones with the torpedo start aiming it and just and like let go as it's like it just sort of falls. And they're throwing bombs and shit at the tanks. So you're bombing the tanks. Your guys' ship is doing this. Is there anything you guys are going to be doing? Do you want to throw your boy down there or keep him with you?
No, with me.
Okay.
I don't care right now.
All right. Okay. So you're just watching. Esther, is there anything you wanted to do or just simply watch like Corlox says?
We still have like half a day's travel.
About, yeah.
I want to,
with no real time constraint,
hold my arm out and summon Mr. Marbles into the fray.
So as you look down, you hold your hand out, and as the snake kind of rolls around and goes to the, what is it? It comes out of the palm of your hand, right? And like opens its mouth, and and you release it. You see growing as if in midair is all of these coils of vines as it's falling down. But amidst all of the vines and things like that, there is like metal coming from the minerals of like the air around it and fuses, mixes in with it. And as Mr. Marble slams onto the ground, you can see that he's like new and improved with all of his vines and like blight shit that he has on him, his corrupted sort of plant tree-ent form. But he has what looks like coils of metal wrapped in there with him. And he just and some of them he's right in the center of a bunch of Marsellian forces, and as he slams to the ground, he just smacks a shit ton of them out of the way, wraps his vines around one of the cars, and just fucking crushes it with his hand with all the people inside. And you see a bunch of the forces like, whoa! And you can hear the gnolls rally. They don't understand, but they're excited. So they're just like, because they all fucking sound like crazy hyenas. And they start surging. And as you guys start passing through, the tanks are destroyed. Alex, did you want to land? Did you want to take control of any of the guns or cannons? Or did you
Are
just
all
want to
the
stay up here?
vehicles destroyed?
So the tanks are destroyed. There's still a few Humvees and shit out there, and a ton of personnel, and some of those badass soldiers. Did you want to jump into the fray or try to aim at some of them from up here?
We'll take out the rest of the vehicles and the big boys.
Okay, so as you guys pass over, they don't seem to have any answer to your airborne attack. They are trying to fire missiles and shit up at you, but they're fighting something else, and it's not going great. So while they're trying to fight you, you guys are just kind of dominating them as, globs of hot shrapnel are just exploding, taking out large groups of them. The goblins are tossing bombs down onto the different cars and vehicles, and Mr. Marbles is just running through, being a siege beast and doing what siege beasts do, and fucking flipping cars and flipping trucks. And he stands on top of one of them, holding like several people in his hands, and he just sort of crushes them into paste as he just screams. And you can see that the gnolls are now surging over the wreckages and the other soldiers. The large badass soldiers, the Lighthammer soldiers, the big armored golden ones, get overwhelmed by gnolls as they just wreck the shit out of it. And you see there's a couple of big ass gnolls in particular that just start rushing out into the field and fucking shit up. Between the two, you really are starting to fuck up the Marsellian forces, and it looks like most of the large armored vehicles are all but pretty much destroyed. You just have a lot of personnel down there now fighting a losing battle against the gnolls at this point.
Nice.
We
We could get out and start fighting.
You
We could get out and start fighting. Jeff, you wanted to fight this, right?
I just
really
wanted
care
to show
about
Mr. Marbles. I'm okay with leaving if we're done here.
You just wanted to test out Mr. Marbles?
Yeah.
But Alex, do you like zip line down there with a bunch of goblins?
No, if we're passing by, then we just destroyed the main forces that was giving the gnolls a trouble, so we could keep moving. We throw a note saying terrible 3.
Love the terrible 3.
Yeah, love the terrible
3. So you guys are you guys leaving?
Do you want to recruit the gnolls, Al?
Yeah, fuck it. I didn't want to spend too much time here, but we'll land. You guys can keep going. We'll keep fighting, and then I'll talk to the gnolls.
So you zip line down with a whole bunch of goblins with you, and you guys land.
Rocket boots.
Looks like a flipped up destroyed tank. Oh, you just jump down then.
Yeah, superhero land,
and land on the ground and just start lighting some of these fucking people up. They don't know what the fuck's going on. They didn't expect a giant ghost ship and this shit and a bunch of goblins. The goblins start ziplining down with you. Shoot ziplining down with her legs upside down, just firing arrows like Legolas, just nailing people, and the other goblins with their assault rifles and shotguns, just starting to light these people up. The gnolls are now surging in, and it's just sort of this mess of death and destruction as you guys are peeling through the enemy forces. And you can see one of the gnolls in particular is sort of this like older, kind of wizened looking one. And she has what appears to be a staff that has like bugs swarming around it, and she fucking points out to the people and just starts unleashing like swarms of insects on the enemies. And then she points to one of the larger soldiers, and she slams her staff into the ground, and you see several massive insects crawl out of the ground and go after that one. It's like a massive scorpion, and 2 huge centipedes start biting it as it's like, oh, and Knowles just fucking starts stabbing the shit out of him. She seems to have like some sort of like red war paint all down one side of her face, and there's a specific group around her with shields and spears kind of defending her. So she's some sort of leader, covered in bones and shit. As the gnolls, the battle goes on for a little bit longer of just fucking massacring these people. And it's definitely obvious that the gnolls are going to win. And as they rout out some of the rest, this massive, covered in bones gnoll comes walking to you, headhunter. And do you speak gnoll? You don't speak gnoll, do you?
I don't speak, no.
So it'll be broken.
You speak Abyssal? I don't think you would speak Abyssal either, but
I think they speak Abyssal, don't they?
they speak Gnollish Abyssal, yeah.
Okay, so
I only know because I wrote one up
yeah. So Alex, you approach, and she goes, "You mans."
I want to holster my weapon and like nod my head, yeah.
And she walks in, and you can see the ones that were near her, like, and they like ready on either side, like watching for anything that might come after them. And she stands there amongst the smoking wreckage and puts her foot on the back of the head of a dying soldier. And you see the staff that she's holding looks very familiar. It is most definitely the insect staff that Astrid once held in the beginning of the campaign. It has sort of bugs crawling in and out of it at the end, and has it's like old wood that's sort of porous. And she looks to you, kind of looks you up and down. Why help us, man?
We are the Terrible Three, and we are actively recruiting good warriors such as yourselves. There's no demand. If you don't want to fight with us, you don't have to. But we are looking to form the biggest military to take out the king of Marselia. Which, you know, have destroyed your forests, taken your land. Yeah, I'm sure you know.
Headhunter doing diplomacy.
She walks up to you. She's rather tall, and this red war paint you can tell is like some sort of blood mixture. And she smells you, like leans over, like, you are Terrible Three.
Yes.
But there is one.
And friends.
They're busy doing other stuff. Important stuff.
They on ship. Undead.
Yes.
We hate the mans. We want to feast the mans. But you are killing mans too. We want city dead. Bright and shining.
Oh, that's perfect, because that's where I'm headed now, to destroy it.
Be warned, small mans. City has bubble. Strong. Irritating.
I have a plan for that, but thank you. I appreciate the intel. Did anyone ever tell you that the blood glistening on your face makes you look absolutely ravaging?
I want you to roll. Make a. There's no seduction check, is there? I want you to roll. I want you to roll persuasion or charisma.
I don't think I have good either. 1D. I didn't have my dice roller up. I'm sorry. Bad player.
That's okay.
Bad player.
On the D20, I got an 18. Okay, so let's see what I got. Charisma.
You ready for a new girlfriend?
No, I don't. I think after the last one, I'm done for a while. So I have 0 for pretty much everything else. So 18, still not that bad.
She looks at you, and she kind of smiles, and she looks to her to their side, and she goes, "The man's has pleasant tongue, taste." And she leans closer to you, and the smell of rotten meat is on her breath. She most definitely has been eating people.
The man.
The mans. And
the man.
And she goes, "You are unlike the others, mans. Vicious and cruel. I like it. If you are going to destroy Shining City, I will take my brood. I will take my pack. And we will answer your call."
Thank you, and I look forward to meeting with you after the war is finished.
What is its name?
You're not gonna fucking know.
Do you give her your name?
Yeah. I always said we were the terrible three, so that was kind of dumb. I did not tell her that we were going in the sewage just in case, but I think I can trust them.
He says out loud.
I knew Esther would make fun of me for giving my battle plan to a stranger, so I didn't. See, I'm thinking now.
I am Thresh, matriarch.
How do gnolls greet each other?
Mouth kisses.
Are you asking her that?
Ass kisses. Sure. Yeah, I'll ask her.
Great. And she like makes these like weird like and like barking, yipping, whooping noises at you, and you're like, huh. It's kind of like, it definitely sounds like she wants to fight you, and that's the noise that she makes. And she goes, that or play for biting. And you see all of her naggly sharp teeth.
I'll start to just making barking noises.
Do you make barking noises?
Yeah.
I want you to roll charisma with disadvantage.
All right, disadvantage. Shit.
Yeah, buddy, that's your.
I rolled a natural one.
Their accent.
All right, for my first roll, I got a natural 1.
Okay, so that's the one that we take. And you go whoop, whoop, and she bonks you on the head with the staff. You're like, ah, and she goes, no. You sound like mealing pup. Must have bravado. And she slaps her chest with it, and you hear like the bones of her necklaces sort of like jingle. And she goes, now then, mans, I take my pack, and we travel. And she just sort of turns and starts walking and making like whoop, 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 like whooping noises to the rest of them, and you can hear that call kind of
and
echo.
juggalos start coming out.
That's great. Now we got a pack of gnolls on our side.
So you did get her name was Thresh, and she was a matriarch.
That sounds powerful.
So that's how hyenas, I think they're clans technically. I think that's what they're called. What are packs of hyenas?
Let's do packs.
I can't remember.
Clans
Tribes.
sounds
I think
right.
they might actually be called tribes, but because that's kind of how they act with each other. But they're very intelligent, very social creatures in real life. So her speaking broken English is only because you don't speak her language, but they are very intelligent.
Animal group terminology.
Buddy.
A group of hyenas is called a cackle.
Oh, I love it so much more.
What's it? A catacle?
A cackle, like
clan.
a laugh, like a ha 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 ha.
Oh, that's awesome.
I did not know that. The more you
I did not
learn.
know that either. Okay, so her cackle begins to they are picking through the dead, and when she whoops, they seem like confused, like, but we just won, we killed so many. And you see her pick up one of the swords and hold it up and start walking, and they start like grabbing weapons and are like, wow, and they're just moving on to the next fight. And you can see as you kind of look around you at these creatures, as you kind of have an elevated standpoint, you see them like viciously and very ferociously and quickly feasting on the meat and bones of the people that they've killed. Some people are still alive, and you can see like one of the hyenas digging its head inside of, it looks like one of the people's armor is his arm is gone, and the hyena's entire head is inside of like the armhole, and you see the guy like as he's still alive, and the hyena rips its whole head out, having pieces of the meat, and he chomps and makes like some whooping noises, takes the man's sword and drops him on the floor and keeps moving. And you see that they just, as they walk, you see them like hacking at dead soldiers and like ripping they just seem like a big force that's just eating its way across the battlefield and just kind of walking, just this wild, weird tribe that was living in these mountains.
Awesome.
Do you want to get back on the ship?
Yeah.
Okay, so the ship lands and you begin to get back on it. You see some of the goblins are talking to some of the gnolls, and they seem to be getting along and understanding, and you see some of the gnolls giving the goblins some meat, and the goblins like, ah, and like excitedly, and the gnolls like, ah. So they seem to be, there's a form of kinship there in some way.
Potential mountain goblin dwarves clan.
So you can kind of let that be, and having rescued the random cackle of gnolls, they are there. traveling towards the city that you do plan to attack. So you continue your way. You guys kept going. Esther's Mr. Marbles is back there somewhere ravaging through bad guys. Do you dismiss him?
Ravaging.
Yeah.
Or do you let him travel with Headhunter?
You know what? Yeah, let him stay with Headhunter.
All right, so Headhunters, you're getting on the ship. Mr. Marbles gets on the ship as well and sits there.
Oh, marbles.
You can see that he's the same, but with coils of metal in and amongst his vines.
Well, that's a no.
Then he reaches out and touches your face with his vines and, like, pats you and then puts them back down and just starts looking around. And some of the goblins start climbing on him.
Nice.
your ship takes off. So, yeah. So as you guys travel, it's not long before you do see in the horizon the very bright beacon that is Brightopolis. You can see off in the horizon this dome of light and sort of like other blue lights kind of coming off of it interchangeably. But this bright kind of white light is its main sort of thing. And Mulch goes, I think that be our target. Should we set down here and travel on foot? Where do you want to lift your castle?
Yeah, we should probably at least wait for Headhunter's crew to catch up. What does the terrain around us look like?
More mountains. There's mountains and a small forest down to the left, but more sort of mountainous terrain to the right. The mountains are probably the best place to, if you want to lift your castle, can be hid by mountains.
Yeah, let me start lifting it behind one of the mountains so we can get the fleet going too.
Okay. So as Mulch lands in and amongst these mountains, he lands his ship. All right then, find a good spot and I'll circle around. And as you guys kind of get off, your whole crew hops off of the boat. You have basically, there is a large mountain range in front of you, and that's between you and the city. And the city's like maybe a few miles off, but it's, like a few minutes, 20 minutes travel by foot. Not far at all. And there's a nice sort of open kind of area. There are trees in and amongst this area, but it's mostly these large rocky mountains that are kind of blocking you. And this looks like a pretty good place to, in this sort of crescent of mountains, lift the castle if you'd like. It would destroy some trees and foliage, but it would probably be blocked. These mountains are much bigger than your castle is.
Can I roll stealth to go scout really quickly just to make sure that we haven't been spotted by anyone, or if there's like patrols and things going around in the area before we erect a whole fucking castle here?
I want you to first roll stealth, because I assumed you're doing it quietly.
Yeah. Okay. I would hope so. Let's see what the dice gods have to say, though. 16 plus 17.
Okay, that's really good.
Do you want me to math that, or?
Nope. I'm rounding it up to like more than 30, so that's pretty good. Okay. Right, because it's 16 and 17, is that what you said? So
16 and 17.
So yeah. I want you to roll either investigation or survival, whichever one you're better at.
Neither. So we'll do investigation.
Investigation, that's fine.
11.
Okay, so as you start making your way through, kind of looking around, you do, because it wouldn't be super hidden, as you make your way through, you smell this horrific smell, and you're like, that's rot. And as you start like making your way over, that's decomposition, definitely. And as you start looking around, you can see that much of the brush in this area was like devastated and destroyed. And you can see what looks like blood spatter in some of the areas. As you're like, okay, could be an animal. And as you get kind of follow it, again, very well hidden, you find what looks like a large sort of like a shallow kind of pit dug full of bodies and body parts. And it looks like they were torn apart and gnawed on and definitely sort of ripped at by animals, but animals wouldn't have, unless this is some kind of nest you just found, wouldn't have put them in this weird
And
it's a weird spot.
I'm sorry, I had stepped away at this moment. I'm guessing we all saw the gnolls and stuff too?
Yes.
Okay.
You didn't see, because you stayed on the ship, but you definitely saw them.
But I saw that they were down there.
Yeah, but that was like, that's like a couple miles that way, and you're a couple miles away at a different small patch of mountains.
Okay. I haste myself back to the crew.
So I want you to roll perception, just before you do.
Would it be passive or roll perception?
You know what? Yeah, just tell me your passive perception, because you're not specifically...
My passive is 21.
21? Okay. I probably actually should have made you roll perception for doing it. Whatever, either way. So 21's awesome. What you do here is, as you look at this, you're like, and you hear... And you hear it from, like, the bushes not too far that way. Mm-hmm. You could go take a peek and still be... Because you're very well hidden. If you want to go look at what it is that's making that noise.
I'll do that if I'm still pretty hidden. I'll get to a point where I can actually see what it is.
You have crazy stealth, and they're not that perceptive. So as you get over, you can see what looks like another one of these creatures, another one of these gnolls. But this one has white kind of painted on itself. The ones that you saw had a lot of red on themselves. So this one is covered with like a different color. And you can see it like kind of gnawing at the bones of what looks like a Marcellian soldier. It's like rended the armor, and as it rips off one of the pauldrons and and puts its arm through and puts the pauldron on itself, there's and it reaches into its bag, and you can see it pull out this like white kind of paste and start smearing it on it to try to... It looks like it's made of like some sort of like plant or something that they like mix together with maybe some sort of powder, and it makes it like white. And he's smearing it on it to try to get rid of the colors of the blue and silver and just smear like a big white milk pall all over it. And as he's smearing that, he goes, and he like smears some of it on his face. And you can see he doesn't look quite as big as some of the other ones that you saw before. He looks like a little bit younger. He's just sitting there eating and stealing armor off of a dead body. Whether there are more of these things around, you're not sure, but you would assume there are. They seem to run in packs and be very social. And there, like I said, a lot of devastation of it. Look, you kind of realize now it was them dragging the bodies into that little pit.
I get myself up onto a tree branch.
Okay.
And bat flip myself upside down and like I kind of grab onto it, you know.
Okay.
Just go, hey.
And he looks up and sees you upside down, and you see him reach and pull out two one of them is like a broken sword, and another one is like a Marcellian sword that's like chipped a little bit.
I raise lower my hands in like a peaceful gesture.
He's looking at you. He definitely looks confused because you aren't a Marcellian soldier in the least, and you look like some sort of devil or something, covered in like horrific.
I don't look great.
So he's like,
what? Common?
Oh, what? What you?
What you doing there, bud?
Eating. What doing?
Looking around. Can I join you? I won't eat your stuff. It's your stuff.
And he looks over at the pit of like kind of pre-chewed on, gnawed on stuff. Can have scraps on mine.
Okay. And Mav hops down, grabs an arm, as he imagines it's this custom for these gnolls, and starts munching on it.
Yeah, because you're taking from the
exactly.
pile.
Just like, yeah, okay. He starts eating that. He's like, you alone here?
Rest of cackle. And he points towards the mountains.
Oh, cool.
We are many in number.
That's impressive.
Yes. Ha. And he pounds the like meaty bone to his chest, like.
You know, got me Any party plans? You doing anything this weekend?
We're taking more territory. The mans are scared and weak because of the vampy ones.
Yeah.
The vampires come from the north, and now the mans are scared and thin.
How would y'all like to have a whole city? A whole big old place where you can put your little village?
He looks at you.
What?
You know those things with 4 walls, the buildings?
Ah.
And a bunch of them?
Ah.
You want one?
Too many mans.
Oh, we'll take care of that. Here, come with me. Come with me. Let me show you how we'll take care of that. And I try to convince him to come along back to where the rest of the crew is with the ships and stuff.
Headhunter and Mav have been doing diplomacy this round.
I always do diplomacy.
If this trick, I'm very strong.
And like I said, he's a little bit of a smaller one. Like, he definitely isn't like an adult yet, because the other ones are like 6.5, 7 feet tall. He's probably like 5 feet or something, and just like,
I take out Rakash's dagger and I give it to him, and I give him my wrist, and I'm like, if you think I'm spooky, you can pull the trigger on this anytime.
Dead. Character done.
We're gonna go. Please don't put that in your mouth. We're gonna
he was going to. So he starts walking with you.
I'm like holding his hand and I bring him over to the crew.
So you reach out, he holds your hand with his big knoll paw and starts walking. He still has the severed arm in the other hand. Oh well, no, he would drop it. He has your.
But he just hold it in his mouth and just.
Yes, yeah, just. So it's not, Mav sort of disappears, and it's not long before Mav arrives. At this point, Headhunter, your ship has caught up and is landing in the clearing as well. As you see Esther sort of like, kind of checking out the scenery, measuring it for his castle. Mav comes out of the brush with what appears to be one of these knoll creatures, but covered in like white paint, sort of in like paw marks on him, and it has the arm of like a humanoid in his mouth. And has one of Mav's weapons in his hands.
I lean over and I was like, you want to see how cool we are?
Yes.
Hey, Esther.
We
Gucci?
Yes?
What language is Gucci?
It's infernal.
What are you asking me to do?
Bring the castle here. We should be fine. I just scouted. We're good.
Should I be completing my half hour at this point?
Yeah, sure.
It takes an hour.
Can it coincide?
Yeah, while Mav was looking, you were just sort of like. So as you sit there and meditate, do you bring it up right in this sort of clearing?
Yes.
From underneath the little bits of trees and woods that are around, and a small creek running through, the ground just and just starts getting uprooted and destroyed by this massive, these huge twisted dark spires and the gray dead stone as it rises up into the sky, ripping trees out of its way, the small creek pouring over it like the river, was just fucking thrown in the air, which it was, as this castle comes rising up, and the knoll he just drops Rakash's dagger, which goes and it goes right back to you, and the arm flops out of his mouth as he's just staring in awe, like, what the fuck? As this thing like and rises up to the top and kind of and sort of settles, and he
Go tell
like looks at it and he.
Go tell your people about us. Ask them to come here.
No have to. They here.
And he points up to the things, and you're like, he meant they hear, and you look and you can see coming out of like caves and shit in the mountains are what looks like probably like a couple hundred gnolls start like what the fuck, because you just basically, Esther, by doing this you essentially like kicked their hive. You came into their territory and grew a castle, so a bunch of the gnolls start like and they start whooping to each other and like getting weapons and coming out. The skeletons and creatures that you have in the warehouse, the warehouse is up. So some of the creatures start coming out and some of the goblins are like, because they don't understand what's going on. And there is probably going to be some sort of fight between these two tribes with you guys kind of right dead in the middle, unless you want to do something to stop it.
I hold up my hand that's holding the gnoll's hand, like just like this. And then with my other hand, I just wave.
As you do, the gnoll looks to you, kind of like confused, and goes, "Whoop, and starts like barking and yelling at his people. And you see like they're angry, like kind of yelling, starts turning into like a different kind of gibbering and whooping. As you can tell, like one of them heard what he said and was like, "Oh, whoa, hold up!" Like, yo, what is this shit? Right. And so they start and now instead they're sort of taking like weird defensive stances, and the goblins are sort of like and kind of are sitting there. The skeletons are looking to you, Astrid, like. And another one behind him's like, "What?
No."
And
it's just like a bunch of clicking.
Yeah, because they're just bones. So there's this weird sort of odd, tense silence, and as you're holding the one gnoll's hand, he looks around.
My name Yoop.
And we will take a break there, I think, for a 5-10 minute break, as a strange introduction. So 5-10 minutes. Go get some water. Go take a piss.
Oh my goodness.
That's my war noise.
So we got some more firepower.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I can see through your hand.
This is happening because
what is happening?
You
what are
pushed
you doing?
me. I used to be like locked in to your chair, and you must have pushed the chair.
There's a ghost behind your chair.
That was my last bite. Thanks, guys.
Are you better now? Is your chair not moving?
Looks like the Chatterer, the ghost in your house.
Let's see. What was I on?
So,
This one.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Jeff, that's for you, for when you're editing later. Did you hear it?
The clap.
Good. So, you guys have arrived a couple miles out of Brightopolis, where, surprisingly enough, there's sort of a gnoll infestation in two of these different little mountain ranges, not a good couple of miles from each other. And you aided this sort of red tribe that was covered in blood, in a fight against Brightopolis forces, and now you have discovered this tribe with white paint, who also seems to have killed some Brightopolis scouts and things. And you have raised your castle in the center of their territory, which has caused a bit of tension. Mav is currently holding the hand of one of their younger, he's not quite a pup, but he's still young, one of their adolescents, as it was gnawing on some bones. And you are currently at sort of a weird stalemate. I don't even know if Esther's noticed the hundreds of gnolls behind him, because I feel like you're probably focused on your work. I don't even think you'd really care if you did even know that they were there. The rest of you seem to notice them, though. So here you are at this standstill, and from the mountain comes this this large, strong-looking female gnoll with white on each of her eyes, kind of like smeared across. And she comes out and she has a large like bone club. It's like the spine of some like strong looking creature. and she comes out and like looks over all of it. She has what appears to be armor from dead Mercelian troops, and she and some of her people come over and bring her like this like horn, and she grabs it.
Who you? What?
Let me see. Do I even have throw voice or anything? I don't think I would, but they've got decent ears. I want to give you that city, the shiny one.
What?
Shut up.
And you see her like look to the other.
Where the mans live?
Yeah, but we're gonna eat them first.
And like you hear someone like, ooh, what? and Yup, the one that you are, Yup or Yup, the one that you're holding the hand of is like, ooh, yeah. And so he's just standing there in this large room and starts moving her people out of the way and starts coming down a trail to come to meet you with a whole bunch of her gnolls coming with her. And so it's not long before they start emerging out of the woods and the trees. And you see her tall, strong, much younger than the other like chieftain or matriarch. Has this huge fucking bone club, which you can tell looks as though it has some sort of like kind of essence coming off of it. Like it might be magic in some nature with some kind of raw elemental kind of force. And she comes walking up. And she looks to all of you.
Who is leader?
I look back at Esther, Astrid, and Headhunter.
I am.
And she raises her head like waiting for you to come to speak to her.
I'm gonna go majestically walk over to her.
You come walking over.
Majestically.
How does that look for Headhunter?
Exactly how Evan just did it with the shoulder swaying.
I, Guthra.
Nice to meet you, Guthra. I, Headhunter.
I am matriarch of Bone Splitters.
And she raises her hands to her cackle, who are all like, "Wah, wah, wah, wah." The hearing their name, they get very excited.
Very formidable force, I see.
Who?
Very proud.
Your tribe. Who?
Oh, we are blended. As you see, we're like one big family. We have Esther, who's creepy with his castle. Mav, who is very good with the daggers. Astrid, who's just very scary. And then a ton of undead. Goblins, and I'm sure they're all screaming, hollering on the ships. Ghost people, and
some of the goblins are trying to imitate the Gnoll speak, and they're like, "What, what, what?"
Ghost people.
And they're like trying to speak to them. Some of the Gnolls are like, so she's looking at all.
Ghost people.
You are Terrible 3.
Yeah, I should have started with that.
The mans fear you.
We're actually now the fearsome 4.
No. Terrible 3's fine. They don't need to know I exist. It makes myself better.
And friends.
Terrible 3 and friends.
Why are you here?
We have to destroy the city before we can destroy the king. There's some type of wizard or something we got at 86.
The mans have powerful magic and machines.
I will smith hands over at Esther. And I'm like, I have powerful magic. I'm not concerned.
Their magic is useless if they're missing their heads.
She likes that.
Okay.
And she looks at you suddenly, like thinking of something.
I am single.
No. You don't want to fucking know.
You mans, did you see fight?
And she points back where you came from.
Yes.
Are Nashers dead?
No. We reinforced your other friends and destroyed the Marsalians.
No friends. Nashers enemy.
And she stands closer to you, not raising the bone club to hit you, but like,
We're all on the same side as long as we get rid of the Marsalians.
No. Nashers bad.
How are they bad? They're just like you.
Bah.
I
Wronger.
try to push in front of Alex and stop him from saying anything else.
You let
It was-
leader push you. You are leader. You are patriarch.
why do you not?
Why are you not it, woman?
Patriarch should oppress.
Why is patriarch not oppressing?
You will decapitate.
You are king of tribe.
Listen, we just want to destroy the people that are in this magical city. So we're recruiting everybody that we can get our hands on. Doesn't matter our differences. We all want to just kill.
Nashers will not come through our territory.
No.
No, we'll just fly over it.
Nashers will not go to city. They go through our territory to get to city. We kill.
Who are Nashers?
Territory,
It's the other Knolls that
around-
Alex helped.
I imagine Esther's like half listening. Who's in that? What is she talking about? What is this? What is going on? I have things to do.
Can I
Wait,
These dog people. What is this?
What is this?
can I roll persuasion to try and work out a deal with the leader of this pack?
with advantage because I'm helping.
You want to talk to the leader? Okay, that's fine.
I have
This pack
foresight
or
too.
the
How
other?
does that? Foresight, blah, 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 blah. That gives me advantage on ability checks. Would
That's
that count?
double advantage, Evan.
Yes.
You can roll 4 times and get the high form.
Okay, I'm gonna roll twice.
Disadvantage stack.
19 plus 11.
Ooh,
So
that's
that'd
pretty freaking
Okay,
good. Yeah.
but it also is going to depend. The challenge of what you're trying to do depends on kind of what you're going to say to her. So you go ahead
Exactly.
and give me what the deal is here. I'll count that roll though, but
Good deal.
We do not mean you any harm. We are offering an opportunity to move your people into a more advantageous and powerful space. We would like your help, but we won't require it. What would you need from us to be willing to handle this with us? Because we're not going to ask you to do this for free. I recognize that culturally it's very difficult for you.
To help kill mans and take
Yes.
Bright City. But Nasher's bad.
Would you want us to kill them after this is done?
you see her thinking, and she goes,
Leader of Nashers. Name Thresh. Thresh has charm on neck. Bones. Me want.
I could probably do that.
think Thresh is beautiful and better
Yeah, yeah.
because of bone charms. Guthra is prettier.
and her tribe.
Just, mm.
We're really doing this.
Guthra should have necklace, not Thresh.
What if we find you a better necklace?
There is no better necklace.
I can do this for you.
Man's not understand. Thresh necklace sacred. powerful.
Okay. We can do that. After the battle is done, we can get this taken care of for you.
No,
No.
now.
Now. Okay.
Make you a new necklace. Hear me out. From the teeth and bones of Garland Brighthand.
That's much better.
That's a much better necklace than
That is a
whatever
much better necklace, yeah.
doggy has.
It's just everyone from the crowd is like, that's a better necklace, bro.
Trophy to prove it.
I not take credit for what I do not do.
Well, do you want to help us? That's what we're going to do.
Bones of wizard. That is strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll bet they'd be really pretty.
Very beautiful, gorgeous, if as a matter of fact.
It would definitely be a sign of strength.
And beauty.
If you do not, we will kill.
Do not what?
Bring me bones.
Don't you want to help?
Yes.
Well, then you'll be right there.
Yes.
All right.
Seems like skeptical that you're going to do this because it sounds outlandish.
We don't need his bones. Well, we need his head, but we don't need his teeth.
Okay. That she kind of gets.
But the ribs would make really good dangly necklaces around your neck.
And finger bones that make the little jingly noises.
Ooh.
As she is sitting here sort of thinking and like wandering on this, you hear what sounds like a horn blow. And she looks up at one of hers, and one of them looks out, and she goes, "Uh-oh!" So we lost Talia.
Oh no!
And she goes,
Oh no!
Natter's coming. You tell them where we'll be.
Oh, yeah, I should probably go talk to them, tell them that we're cool now.
And she starts roaring, and the other ones start, and they start getting like into sort of a battle formation. You want to go out and meet the
She
National?
said, "Feel free to Bunny Mav. She has to restart computer."
That's
Sorry.
fine. Headhunter, as you go out to try to meet the Nashers and like cut them off before there is a big weird battle right at where you've decided to put your little headquarters, your supposed to be secret headquarters. You start going out there. Esther, you're just kind of sitting there, sort of confused, and Corlox stands next to you and looks at them. Tell me, you got all this going on. What are you laughing at?
No, I wasn't expecting it.
His voice is hard to do. It's a tricky, weird accent he's got. What are you planning on doing with all this?
With the list.
What?
Oh, with all this. I mean, you got sort of like two armies over here fighting, and then you got that army over there ready to fight. You know, are you going to lead them? What are you going to do with this? Are you going to
I don't think we anticipated this little scuffle going on, but if we can recruit them as well, then yes, we're just going to roll them into our numbers.
Yeah, this is opportunity.
It is. We almost didn't even find we didn't drop into this initially, but we have more padding, more cannon fodder, or more resources. Their leader seems pretty angry at right hand as well.
Exactly. You don't just have cannon fodder. You have a fire that you can stoke. I mean, look at it this way. You got these people who hate the same people that you want to kill. That's a perfect golden opportunity for you. You can stoke that fire. You did it with the prisoners. You did it with the goblins. If you want to take down Aaron Gold, you're going to need all the help you can get. Trust me, that place is fucked. It's fucking strong. And that king's no fucking joke. You know what I mean?
I do.
You're going up against the kind of enemies that you're going to go up against. If you don't want to just kill a wizard, that's not what you're doing. You're destroying a way of life. You're bringing down a society. You're bringing down an entire culture. You're waging war. And if you're doing that, got to take advantage of things like this. You have to find the people that are crushed and stepped on. And you got to give them a sword and point them in the right direction. That's what the king did. And he was able to take over an entire fucking country. He just got a little lazy.
So what are these gnolls doing right now? Where is Alex?
Alex is going out to meet the Nashers, and the Bone Splitters are preparing for like battle. Like they're like, whoa, because these two tribes obviously hate each other. So they're preparing for the Nashers to show up, and they're like, because it's like a surprise. They're like, the fuck are they doing here? So they think they're here in mass, so they think they're going to come and fight them. So that's what they're doing.
And what were they speaking common in that whole ordeal?
Yeah. Broken common, but common.
Okay. So I guess I'm gonna wait and see what happens when Alex brings them the enemies over.
Okay. So Alex, you go out and you find the Nashers walking proudly across the field, and you can see the leader right in the front, their matriarch with her the staff of like swarming insects. As she is making her way down, this sort of wizened looking like wizard fucking evil gnoll. And she sees you coming running from the mountains and waits, for you to come to her. So they're like, a couple 100 yards out. So you go and you meet her.
I said, all right, you're not going to like this, but we have also recruited what was the other tribe's name?
Bone Splitters.
The Bone Splitters to fight with us. They have agreed to fight alongside with you as long as we give them a award for fighting with us. We will also do the same with you.
We were planning on killing Bone Splitters and taking their pups for our own.
Yes, that's something you can pursue after the battle, but beforehand, we're going to take over the city, destroy all the humans, and then... The men's. Yeah. And then you guys can hash out whatever you like. Although I would love to see you two join forces to be one killer army, but...
Nashers are better.
Obviously. Everybody knows it.
You want us to fight with Bone Splitters.
Just don't kill each other. You don't have to fight with them. We're all attacking the city. You don't even have to attack the same area as the Bone Splitters. However, I do want to say something. The leader of the Bone Splitters was very jealous of how much more beautiful you are than she is.
That is because Thrish most beautiful.
And you hear her whole cackle like, and she's like,
What do they say about working with us, fighting the mans together?
They didn't like fighting with you guys until we told her that we'll give her a nice necklace to do so.
She grabs her necklace.
Not yours.
Thrish's necklace.
No, we were able to get that off the table.
Guthra always jealous of Thrish's beautiful bones.
I could see why. They're ravishing.
So, you getting her different necklace?
Yeah, one made from some person we're gonna kill in the city.
So you getting Guthra gift, Guthra gift to fight with you?
An award, yeah.
Thrish want gift.
And she puts her staff down and looks to and the hyena's like, woo, because it's like a power move.
Okay, so besides the hundreds of pounds of flesh that will feed your tribe for several months, what else would you like?
Oh, I gotta let Megan. We have to make sure that was actually Talia. Who knows? Who knows who that was?
It's not her! Ah!
Sorry about that, gang.
That's all right.
You just died.
Headhunter is currently talking to the leader of the Nashers.
The Nashers. Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. So she goes.
I'm using diplomacy. Okay, I'm doing the diplomatic.
He's
rap.
promising too much to too many.
The one group wants a necklace. This group, I don't know yet. Not that big of a deal.
Thrish want head of Guthra.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be difficult because we're working with them.
Now, Esther, you're hearing all of this, and as you are, Corlox is looking at it, and he looks to you and goes, "Could always kill one of them. You could always please one of them instead of the other. Then you have less people."
That's gonna cause mass chaos. But
Yeah, I'm not going to kill any of them now.
Maybe there's another way to do this.
Who
There
cares
is
about-
another way to do this.
What did you say?
Corlox looks to you.
I'm gonna dominate Guthra,
Ooh.
and then I'm gonna go over and dominate Thrish.
There's that way. I was going to promise them half of the city each, but there you go.
So,
Well, I like that.
you're like, fuck this. You go and...
This is a waste of time.
All right,
Fuck this. What is this? It's like Lord of the Flies bullshit.
I mean, you do have a point. I hate to admit it. I was trying to get them to work together, but there's a,
Yeah, no, that's what I was
We'll
thinking. Promise them
make
half the
work
city.
together.
Sorry, I can't control people's brains.
Mm.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not her.
their wisdom. What do they need to roll?
20.
All right, I rolled an 18 with no pluses to the wisdom. That was for Guthra.
Mm.
So as you, oh, actually, you don't even have a staff anymore. So as you just reach out your nasty bug hand, you see Guthra.
And
Bug.
You said there's like
hands.
insectoid almost. You have like characters.
Nasty bug.
And then you just start walk. Or do you tell her to come with you,
no.
or she's just standing there? So then you walk out. Headhunter, you see Astrid approaching from behind you with this massive creature, this weird giant man in a trench coat behind her with this sort of dead pale face, and her two fucking Shisuva hyenas walking in tail or in tow. And as you approach, stop it. As you approach, you see Thrish look over, and she goes, "Shisuva."
Yes, this is my friend Astrid. She's very powerful.
Fascinating. Beautiful. And she's looking at the Shisuva, and she leans down. You haven't dominated her yet, but she goes, and they look to you like almost like permission. Like, can I go over and hang out with that? Like your two Shisuva are like, oh.
They're like the same thing.
And
Like
they
a dog
they start
tree.
speaking to each other.
What are they saying?
So because you can hear the Shisuva,
Yeah.
you can hear them saying, did you name both of them?
No.
Okay. So one says, I am Mr. Owl.
Mm-hmm.
And the other says, the other like nasty vicious
Mr.
one
Owl.
says, I have no name, but I gnash and break. And she starts whooping and yipping and yelling to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of yoop back, and they go, she is powerful and strong, has killed many. And it said she feeds us greatly. And Thrish is kind of like nodding at them like, yeah, this is good. And she's speaking to them, not sure what she says, and they said, we have killed many mans and many more to die soon. They killed the big ones, the strong ones, the ones everyone else fears. And so she is currently asking them about you guys, and they're just telling her freely because there's like a kinship there. And then she says something else, and they go, we no longer serve him. We serve her now. She is greater. She is stronger. And you see her like, and she looks to you. How have you stolen them from Yinogu?
I'll show
Want
you.
to find out?
And then I just do it.
I gave her a +1 because she's like a mage, and it came out to a 9. So she
All right.
and she looks to you, and she looks at like the world around
Oh
her.
yeah, I forgot.
Esther,
You'll get used to it.
You can see that Guthra is like looking at the sky, like what the fuck?
Oh,
They have now been
Problem
infected
solved.
with Astrid's like madness. And Thrish,
All right, I've had an absolute enough of the bickering and the bullshit. You're both gonna work.
Guthra started it.
You're both gonna work together. Your tribes are now one. You can fight over the name of your tribe later, but for now,
It's like
they
Survivor.
They both like,
Just
"Oh,
Jack Frost.
okay."
for now, you are going to both help us attack this city together.
Thrish says yes to you, and Guthra, just standing there in the middle of the field, goes yes. And you guys are like, what? She just sort of says yes because the conversation's way over there. Yes. And Thrish turns, Nashers, we kill the mans. And all the Nashers, rah. And Guthra turns and goes, Bone Splitters, we kill the mans. And they all, rah. And Yoop is standing there and just goes, what happened? He's looking to you, ma'am. What's going on?
Don't worry about it, you. Go hang out with your family. It was nice meeting you.
Okay.
Drink your milk. Get big and strong.
He starts to walk, and then he stops, and he comes back to you, and he looks around, and he reaches into his pouch, and he pulls out some meat, and he hands it to you, and he puts it in your hand, and goes, you think very nice. And starts going towards his people, and they're like,
I'm gonna get emotionally attached, and you're gonna lop his fucking head off in the next campaign.
kill you.
No.
He's like a big chieftain at that point.
You
Like,
big
you gotta
baby.
Mission
Oh,
1.
I didn't mean
kill
next
you.
campaign session. I'm gonna be like standing somewhere, and some fucking nasty human is gonna.
It's gonna go after poor little Yoop, and you gotta
Human's
do
gonna lose his balls.
Gotta kill
So
Yoop, you know?
you seem to have brokered a peace between the two tribes by force,
Yeah.
and by
That's
using
enough
some
of
of your
this.
some of your spell slots or some of your charges for your staff. But it's done. You have done it.
It's a little
Problem solved.
peek into what happens to us in the Blood War.
So as the Nashers start approaching into this area, you can see a lot of the soldiers are sort of like, and the two leaders walk up to each other, like,
Mouth kiss.
and they like smell each other a little bit, and then go to shake each other's hands, like, and the rest of the tribes are like, whoa. And so they seem to be ready. And Corlox looks at that, looks at you, Esther. Something to learn.
I can't dominate people. Person.
Can't you? She's doing it one way, the easy way. There's other ways to do it. You can always force people to work for you, or you could even inspire them. A million different ways to get what you want.
Love.
Especially
Headhunter?
especially with creatures that are seen as monsters.
And he goes and walks back onto the ship.
Is he trying to give me character development in the middle of this knoll?
That's so weird, Astrid.
So he gets back onto the ship. The gnolls all start formulating and gathering together, speaking to one another, like, still like, we're supposed to kill each other. What's happening? But the two chieftains are not having it. The matriarchs are just speaking to one another. What's your guys' next move?
Pursue the city.
We have to do the stealth missions now, huh?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
because this is where you are, Sam is unloading a cart from the Dust Keep. He's like, okay, so I got a cart big enough to fit. I'll be in the front. It'll be Corlox, you, Katha and Vondis. They're really small, so that's perfect. And Clyde will all be in the back. All of the boxes are full of our weapons and munitions. This tarp was enchanted in Valnar. It should make everything appear as sort of usual, but the enchantment is meant to look like an enchantment of water, like water resistant or and fire resistant. So if they look at it through a magic lens, they'll see that first. They would have to really get a deep dive to really take a look at it. That was compliments of some of the mages and enchanters of Valnar. So we should be good to go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'll start leading my boys into the sewers.
Good. Do it up. And we'll head in there. So it should be sundown pretty soon. By that time, we'll get in and tear this shit up.
Sounds good to me.
Let it begin.
All right, let's do this. So she loads up the cart and starts making your way there. You have two horse carriage.
Excuse me?
You have your own carriage if you'd like.
No, you said we had 2 horse.
2 horse carriage.
Horses.
Yes, horses.
Horses.
So you guys make your way. We'll start with Alex. You and your weird little goblin team. You ride in
Nashers.
What?
And the Nashers.
You're not
You're
gonna
gonna take a whole crowd of gnolls into the sewers? That's not stealthy at all.
No,
The
no,
Knolls
no.
are part of the shoot team. I'm with Sneak right now.
So the gnolls aren't gonna be stealthy.
No, they're the spearheads. After we sneak into the areas we want to be, plant the bombs, I want the guns, and the gnolls to come in after.
You want the gnolls to all pour in through the sewer.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Are you taking all of them, or are you just taking like a pack of them?
How many Nashers are there? I imagine
There's
like
at least
150.
100 of the one pack.
Oh no, there
Right.
was more. So I said there was hundreds coming out of the thing.
okay.
So these are 2 big fucking packs. There's probably like 500 to 600 for each.
Because we can't really storm the gate. Like, how are they gonna? How would they enter if I didn't take them through the sewage?
You have to
You're
blow up the. You have to blow up the.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah. This place is basically like siege proof until you blow up those 4 things inside the city. Then
So that's what the cart with me and all the other people is doing. We're gonna split up, go blow the shit up, and then everyone's gonna go out and go in.
Now, if you wanted to cause a bunch of havoc inside the city,
That
that's
was
what
my
you were gonna
job.
do with your little goblin team 6.
All
You
right,
would
then
go in there
I'll
and
just
start
take the
terrorist
goblin
attack
thing.
in the city. You what?
Because my job was the distraction.
Yeah.
So
So
I'll
Sneak's team goes in first, and they have several explosives, C4 and shit, and they're going to start planting it in different like police barracks and things like that, guard stations.
Excellent.
And so while they're doing that and heading in, you guys are waiting outside of the sewer. Mav, Sam starts riding up in there. Is there anything that you guys want to give or buff Sam with before she tries to talk her way past these guards?
Have anything? I have foresight, but that only helps with attack rolls.
Let's see.
I have detect thoughts, disguise self, thaumaturgy.
Is there anything that you have?
For helping?
Yeah.
Well, I'm helping
I know.
Mav. That's it.
Yeah. The only thing I could think of would be somehow to buff her disguise or buff the disguise as well of the stuff in the back. But I think until someone tries to look at our shit, there's not much that I can do as far as buffs go.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna roll some intelligence for her. Not bad. Before you guys leave, she shoots a couple arrows into the side of her thing from one of the Knowles' bow. And she's like, okay, cool, let's go. And to make it look like you guys were at one point. And what she does is after she gets her disguise kit on, Headhunter, she walks up to you and says, hey, could you shoot me in I want you to shoot me, but I just want you to wing me right here with an arrow. Can you do that?
Yeah, I want to take out an arrow and just stab her in the arm.
Motherfuck! All right, well, fine. Close. Fuck. And she goes, okay, good. That's good. It's got a good amount of blood. All right, good. Now we'll look like we were attacked a little bit. Excellent. Now we're ready to go. So it looks like they're, that was her own little plan. So
Caravan?
what?
Who else is with her?
She has Vondis and Katha with their weird little things that Katha was working on. Clyde and all of the munitions and guns that he wanted to bring, and Corlox is just sort of laying in there.
That's none of them I want to punch in the eye to make them look like they've been through a battle because they
And Mav. No,
Well,
because
we're all going to be hidden.
Yeah, they need to be hidden. Do you want to go punch Clyde in the face?
no, because he's a insane person. But I do want to take some of the blood from her arm and give Von this little war paint under his eyes.
No, what do you don't? Don't want that. That's her blood. What are you doing? That's disgusting.
He looks so much tougher now.
Oh, why does your blood smell bad? Fuck you. It's gone. Oh, what are these things? And he's looking at the gnolls. These look terrible. And a lot of the gnolls are looking at him like
food.
Yeah, that's good food.
Yeah, Vonis, you should disappear for a little bit.
yeah. I'm gonna go in the cart.
So you approach the gates and you can hear talking Mav.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm gonna go ahead and roll. Oh, great.
Oh,
Do you want to try to listen in closer as to what's being said?
What would it be? Perception or investigation?
Just perception.
Why not? I'll roll for that. Let's see, with advantage. Nat 20 plus 6.
Wow, okay. Yep. So,
It's what a waste of a 20, right?
yeah. So she starts riding really fast as she's getting closer to the city where it's like bumpy.
Mhm.
And you hear like, whoa, whoa, whoa. She goes, help, please. Oh God, help. There are gnolls in the mountains. And there was some sort of great battle. Not just a few miles back. It looks like a bunch of your soldiers were battling gnolls. And they're like, yes, ma'am, we sent them out there to try to exterminate the problem. They've been reproducing rapidly since the vampires have breached Dawn's hold. And she goes, well, I don't know what's going on. They attacked. I've never seen them in such force on the roads before. And they're like, it's all right. Now, you need to tell us, what are you doing here? And why are you here, and what are you carrying? We're going to have to check your cart. And she goes, check my cart, are you insane? And it's not like, ma'am, we must insist. We know that you've been through some trouble. And she goes, hey, but... And so it sounds like they really want to check her cart. Is there anything you can think to do? If not, I will rely on her rolls again.
Can I
Which I did not roll good last time.
cast thaumaturgy a little bit, like a good distance away from the cart behind us? Let's see, range is 30 feet. I can create an instantaneous sound that originates from a point of my choice within range, such as a rumble of thunder, cry of a raven, ominous whispers. I want it to do gnoll cackling.
Oh, like that?
Yeah, like they're coming up on the cart and everything.
Yes. Okay, cool. So, and you can do it a little further away, I think, too. So
Okay.
down the road, like near like some trees or rocks or whatever.
Loud enough that they can hear it, but imagine that it's distant.
So the second you do that, Sam catches on to it and goes, oh God, no! Oh God, they're behind it. And then you hear the guards go, fuck it, Phil, come on, just let her go. And it's like, all right, fine, man, go. And she's like, thank you, bless you. Oh, praise him, praise Strahd, praise him. As she rides in, and Corlox is sitting there and he goes, praise him. As you guys ride in. As you guys rush past him, you hear the guards kind of talk. He's like, oh, make sure that you check that area. Load your guns, men. We might have some gnolls approaching. And they're like, doing their shit as you guys ride in, and you hear Sam go, all right, I'm in. So, who's up first? And she goes through, she will drop you off first, Mav. She rides you and goes, all right, Mav, you're up. Now, when you get out, I would suggest that you disguise yourself, because there are some people still around here, and find your own way into that power plant.
How close did you get me to this power plant? Give me an idea of what I'm looking at here.
So I'm on the street. I can't get you inside. It is surrounded by a large gate. It's probably about 12 feet tall, but it's chain link. The top has some sort of like little laser grid at the top. It might hurt you, or it might just set off the alarm, but the fence itself doesn't look like it's magical. It's just the top. It does look like there are 2 armed guards outside. There is an alleyway to the right next to a large building, and looks like might be an alleyway to the left. I'm not sure what's behind this. I don't really have time to loop around the whole place because I got to get these guys in position. But I'm setting you off right here on the sidewalk, so looking like a common civilian would be a good idea. They are dressed like, she describes like what they're dressed like. They usually always have some sort of stupid little doodad in their hand that they're playing with, and they're usually oblivious to everything around them. So if you're just looking at your phone, then that'll be good. You might be able to slip either into the alleyway or into the building. It looks like it's an apartment building of some kind, and it goes up about 10 stories. So if you get up there, you should be able to have a good vantage point over the power plant.
Got it. No problem. Enjoy your quest. I'm gonna roll to just stealth. I'm not gonna bother disguising myself. I'm just gonna
Okay.
be not there. Let's see. With advantage, 10 plus 17, that'd be 27.
Yep.
Okay. It looks like the wind blows a flap on the back of the cart, and I just slide out.
As you kind of quickly and skitter your way across the road with your nasty little self, you get to where are you going? You're going to go for the alleyway. Or you're going to go for the building. Also, I feel like I should
Is it music time?
So, the minute you actually get out of here, what you see is, as you get out, it's almost like oh god, like blinding. It's like being in Vegas. I don't know if you guys have ever been in Vegas, but when you look straight, if you don't look at the sky in Vegas, it looks like it's daytime, like pretty much all the time, because it's so bright in here from all of the lights. And as you look out, you're like, what the fuck? It seems like whatever magical enchantment held you in there kind of blocked a lot of this light. And as you get out, it's ridiculous. You see tall skyscrapers surrounded by buildings of all kinds of varying size. Each building has strange devices on the roofs, like swirling windmills, floating crystals, and shining symbols of Astrid, just all over the place. You're like, whoa! It's like, think the opposite of Dis.
Okay.
You know, it's big buildings, but it's so bright and beautiful. Each building has these panels that run down the length of the buildings. The panels sort of pulse with a bright yellow and white light, and each of the sidewalks and streets people ride on small devices that seem to hover near wherever these panels are. On the sidewalks and streets, these same panels are. Larger hovering vehicles travel along the yellowish-white glowing panels on the roads. They emit no exhaust and even make little noise. The streets seem strangely laid out in a way that makes little sense and causes some like traffic problems. It looks like it looks like bizarre and confusing. The air smells strangely refreshing and like pure, and the people all seem happy and friendly walking around. It is night, but it seems like there's a vibrant nightlife in this city. Many of the citizens have bizarre items and devices that emit sounds and lights that they're playing with, little phones. And the whole place appears to run on some kind of like magic. Like all of these panels look like they're like connected to each other, and might be some sort of like massive grid. And that's where you're like kind of thinking, okay, the power plants, this is how they're all, you know, connected.
Okay. I am going.
So everything's very bright. So it's like, but you rolled really high, but everybody gets pretty high. When you're just on the street, everybody gets advantage to try to find you or to notice you.
Do they?
Oh, they don't. They'll just get normal rolls to try to find you because you get
normie rolls.
I also got. Where did 8 go? That's an attack roll thing. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try to get into the apartment complex, assuming it's like a normal apartment complex, and get up to the roof.
Okay, so there is a fire escape on the right-hand side. And you're nimble as fuck. So you start climbing. You want to get all the way up to the roof?
Yes.
So you just start and making your way up this weird gooey acidic devil man. Making your way up to the top. And spiky, you're covered in spikes, I forgot. And you crawl onto the roof. There is what appears to be this like sort of cylinder on the top that's swirling, and it's like parts of it are cut out, so it looks almost like
like, you know those wind things that spin around and tall, and that's what kind of it looks like.
Okay.
But it's like glowing with like sort of this pulsing yellow light, and you can see wires that run from it, and the wires connect to the roof just in these weird like big nodules. You're like, huh, all right, whatever. As this thing's just sort of spinning there.
Yeah.
And you can get like a nice look at the power plant. Pretty fucking big. You do see this fence that she's talking about, but once you're inside that fence, it looks like it's just the actual walls of the building itself. There seems to be like 3 entrances that you can see right now. A front one, this sort of small one single side door entrance, and a sort of loading dock thing in the back. The loading dock thing in the back seems to have a truck, and they're kind of offloading something. The front entrance there's 2 guards at the main gate, and then right at the front entrance, there seems to be like a large, heavily armored person standing directly in front of the main door. And he's just like looking back and forth and like stops his head. And he looks weird with how he moves. And you're thinking that might actually be a construct. That might be like some sort of robotic. And then the side door, you can see that there is a man just kind of standing there, like taking a smoke break, and he's playing with this doodad on his phone. It's just like a bunch of lights flashing at him, and he's just like, as he's staring at it. There are some windows, but you'd have to get to you'd have to make the jump to like the 2nd or 3rd story of some of these like buildings like connected to the power plant. But you are like 10 stories up, so you're pretty high up there.
How many people are loading the stuff in the back? Can I tell?
So there's 3 people back there, and 2 of them keep carrying boxes in. So they're kind of not there the whole time. And there's one guy standing outside the truck, and he has the truck's like hood open, and he's like looking in it like he's messing around with an engine.
Okay, I am going to go back down the fire escape just a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's not messing with an engine. I apologize. The truck is floating. It has no wheels. He's under it, messing around with something.
That's not safe.
Not how he would fix it. Yeah, because of
when you were talking about the grid on the fence.
Yes.
So like I'm gonna do this like we're top down. Let's say this is the power plant.
Okay.
And then you've got a square fence around it.
Yep.
Is the grid like an electric fence where it's just on the top, or does it like go to the power plant? Like, is it like a box?
It looks like it's only on the top of the fence. Like if you tried to climb the fence, your hand would like up at the. It's almost like think where barbed wire would be.
Right.
That's where it's just like a laser barbed wire or whatever the hell it is.
Okay, I wanted to clarify before I launched myself into this place.
Yeah, it's not connected to it. It looks like once you're inside, because people are walking freely in that area. The guy's smoking, the big security. It looks like you probably can walk, and there's walkways, so it looks like you can move around down there without setting off some sort of tripwire or anything.
I want to, and I can roll acrobatics or whatever you want for this. I want to get to a point where I won't fucking die on the building to leap over to a little bit above the side door and land so that I'm like facing downwards towards it, looking at the guy.
Okay. So you want to scale down the building so you're not 10 stories up. So maybe like 5 stories up or something, so that you can leap down to the like 2nd story of the power plant and then be above the guy.
Yes.
Okay. So that's acrobatics. That's definitely acrobatics. Which I think you get advantage on, right?
I get advantage on all and saving throws, and then I also have a buck-ton addition to my acrobatics. So
okay, let's do it.
See. Oh, those rolls are bad. I rolled a 4 and a 1. So what's 17 plus 4?
What? 17.
21?
No, he only gets 1 roll, so he only rolls 4. So that's fine. That's fine. It was going to be hard to do, and by hard I meant like round probably 18 or 19, but a 21 crushes it. So you lower yourself down, holding on to the windowsills of some of these apartments, and as you're holding on to the windowsill, you hear what the, and you're like fuck, and you look over, and there's a guy playing on his phone, and he goes, what the? No. Whoa! And you're like, oh. And so you leap from there with your little tail flapping in the wind, and kind of twist yourself in midair and land so that you are grabbing onto the edge of where the second story is looking down at this guy smoking. And as he like, and goes back to playing on his phone, like, and you can see it's like strobe lights of rainbow colors, and he's like, oh, classic. And it's like stars and shit. It's like, what the fuck is it? Looks like he might be playing a game, but it's like bizarre to look at.
Can I roll to sneak attack him?
Yes, you can.
All right.
Do you want to throw your dagger into the back?
Absolutely.
Or
Absolutely.
into the top of his head? Okay.
Let's see. 15
and you don't have to roll damage because your like base damage will be enough to kill this man.
Okay. 9, 29?
Yes.
Yes?
You hit this very unaware civilian on the top of this power plant workman on the top of his head as he just like, oh, I wonder what my wife and kids are doing. And you hit him right on the top of the head as he fucking hits the ground, and the dagger comes right back. The blood starts spilling out into the outward. It looks like he was wearing some sort of jumpsuit, like a worker.
I pull the body back up with me onto the second floor. Can I steal his clothes and see if he has a key card or something like that?
Sure. So number one, you pull the body up the one story up a wall, and by doing so, you just smear the blood pouring out of his head up the wall.
Oops.
Now there's a blood puddle and a blood trail going up the wall up to where his body is. There is a key card. He has a uniform. He has a wallet.
He had a wife and kids.
I get those too. I take all of it, and I want to have a disguise myself. Is that a spell? I can't remember. Disguise self is a spell.
You can do it for free, I think, right? Because of Dis.
I have 1 per long rest.
All right, you want to use it now?
Yeah, I'm gonna use it to look as much like him as I possibly can.
You can look exactly like him.
I do that.
Okay, you do so. So you transformed looking precisely like him. Now, if anybody touches you, they will feel the spikes on your armor, or they will feel the weird goo on your body. And as you transform and you look down at this man's body, I want you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, let's see. Wisdom saving throw, and then I get advantage on that. 24?
24?
Mm-hmm.
Good enough. You do hear in your mind, just eat one of his eyes. I'm hungry. And you feel this intense urge to do so, and you reach your hands, and then you're able to kind of shake it off, like, no, I don't want to eat his eye. Or you can eat his eye if you want.
I just gave you weird hyena meat. We've got some in the bag. We'll eat it when we get home. I drop down and take a quick look at the wallet. What can I glean from it? Like, what's his name? What kind of cards does he have?
His name is Gregory Philbin.
Okay.
He looks like, as you flip through some of his cards, you can see that he has a card for like an ice cream place that he has a couple notches of.
Okay.
Has some sort of official bowling license. I don't know what that means, but he's a big bowler.
Or was.
Picture of his wife and kids. But when you look at the picture of his wife and kids, it looks like he cut the face out of another man and put his head in there. And you're like, wait, what? That's just a little weird. But yeah, so that's what
I pocket the ice cream card, keep the rest of it in the wallet, and then swipe the code to get into the building.
Okay.
Swipe the key card.
And you are able to get right inside. As soon as you're inside, you see that there is you're in sort of like an open kind of like hall sort of area. There's like a hallway going either which way, left or right this way. That one ends in a single door, the other one ends in like a large double door, and the hallway in front of you looks like it goes into like offices and then into a large open office, like cubicles and stuff. And as you're kind of like, all right, you hear, hey Greg, and you look, and there's a guy peeking out of one of the offices, and he's like,
well, howdy. How are you today?
I want to show you something. It's real good. It's classic.
Oh,
Classic
of
Greg.
course. Let me get on over there.
Get on over here, you
I walk over there.
and you start like walking over. Alex. Sneak returns, and he goes,
Okay, I think we did it.
Sneak returns and says what?
Okay, I think we did it.
Really? No alarms tripped?
Nope.
Very proud of you. I'm going to comms into Mav and ask, are we good to go?
I'm guessing, what am I doing? Am I leaning on this guy's cubicle watching him, or am I getting this?
We cut to you, and he goes, he's typing on his computer, like, and then he clicks a button, and you see that on his computer, there's like a bunch of bright like lights for his screensaver, like, and then it opens to like a little window, and you can see this ridiculous video of a pig in little rain boots, and it's walking, and it's like, and it's like a little piglet, and he goes, it's a little piglet in little boots.
Mav leans on the cubicle and like pushes the comm in his ear as stealthily as he can, and he goes, now isn't that just ridiculous?
Right. So we're ready to blow the towers whenever you're ready for us to do so.
I say, God, what do I say?
Now he's sniffling a bunch of mud.
What's that in the background? What's going on?
Sniffling mud.
I hear pig noises and.
I say, I'm not ready, and then I pull my hand off to see something that cute so early in my shift.
It's not muted. I can still
adorable.
hear you. Just your hand off of it.
Early in your shift. You've been here for 4 hours, Greg.
I know, but the days
Greg? No, I'm kidding.
you get so used to it.
Who are you?
Who are you? You're not Greg. You're some sort of devil, man.
No, so he goes, I knew you'd like it. I thought to myself, who'd like this? Greg would.
I slap my knee and go, you know me so well. You know, I gotta go show him this. I gotta go show him this. I'm just gonna go. I'll be right back, all right?
Who are you
Show who?
Capital H.
You make your way out of his cubicle. He goes, bye, Greg.
Bye.
I hate that guy.
Oh.
And he goes back to his office. There's dark secrets.
Can I, when you said there was a single door to my right, did it look at all like an elevator, or that it would go anywhere? It went towards the back of the building, right?
Left, single door to your left, and it would have been closer towards the main entrance. Okay. Double doors to your right, that would have been further into the building, and the cubicles would have also been further towards the center of the building.
And you said there was a very large office at the end of that? Not like a foyer or anything?
It's a big open office full of cubicles, and that's closer to the center of the building.
Okay.
And that might be where like elevators or stairs are. Whatever these double doors are might lead to maybe like a large factory area or sort of working area of it. Unsure. You'd have to kind of go.
Okay, I'm gonna try to head towards where I think an elevator or stairs might be, so closer to the building, like the middle of the building.
Okay, so
do I find anything?
You enter into the cubicle area and start looking around. You do see a bunch of workers working. They're like typing shit into computers. A lot of them are just playing on phones. And as you walk in, you do see what looks like elevators directly ahead of you. And there's a stairwell if you want to use that instead, but elevators are right there.
Is it like normal elevators where there's like a little guide next to it where it's like 3rd floor, dentist, 5th floor, blah, 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 blah?
Yeah.
What do I see?
So what you do see is that you are in, because you're on the first floor.
Mhm.
So the first floor is like, the first floor is PR for this
Okay.
this power plant. PPPR, power plant.
Oh
Uh,
my goodness.
Power plant public relations.
Power plant public relations, which actually might be busy a lot trying to, whatever.
Probably. Anyways.
The second floor looks like cafeteria. The third floor looks like admin, HR, stuff like that. And the fourth floor looks like it is. The fourth floor is actually something that says archive, which doesn't really make any sense for a power plant. You're not sure. Maybe that's where they keep their files or something.
Mhm.
So it was fourth floor. Fifth floor is server room. And the sixth floor is control room.
I want to get into stairwell and go to the archive floor.
Okay, so you start making your way up. Alex?
The three.
What was that? Alex, what do you do?
The video started playing, unboxing video. I'm just standing by until I am given the go-ahead to blow the
All
tower.
right, you're going to wait. Okay, no problem. So you make your way up to the archive room. You get up to the door, and it has like a little key card swipe that you need to swipe in order to get through. You swipe your key card, and it goes.
Can I roll sleight of hand to jangle the thingy to see if I can smack it into compliance?
Sure. Yes.
I don't know if it'll work, but it's worth a
Roll
shot,
sleight of
right?
hand.
21?
God. So what you go to like fuck with it, and you're like and like slap it, and you fuck, and then you look at the door, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, and you look at like there's like a magnetic sort of lock at the top, and that's obviously what this controls. So you look at that, and you flip out one of your daggers and just slide it in between there.
Mm.
And as you're jiggling that, you start and like sort of jack them both back and forth until like, and then it unlocks anyway.
Okay.
And when it unlocks, you hear this slight like beep, like just the door, not a whole siren going off anywhere. It's just the door going beep, and then you slip in and shut it.
It doesn't stop making noise once I do
The
that?
second
Okay.
you shut it, and you're like, it doesn't seem like anybody noticed.
Okay. Can I roll perception to see if anyone's in there?
Yes. Go right ahead.
Nat 20 plus 6?
Holy.
So here's what you notice.
Well,
Here's what you
she's
notice.
getting advantage on all these, right?
The Matrix.
I am. I'm rolling
Yeah,
twice.
yeah.
Okay.
So here's what you notice. First things first. To your right, there is a security camera that's looking to the right and is slowly going to pan to the left in a second.
Mhm.
And you see that like as it and just looks right, so it looks like it just missed you entering the door. You can see in front of you, it looks like you are standing in a hallway that curves around, almost like a giant square. In
Okay.
front of you is the office that it curls around, and it looks like it's windows to where you can see lots of filing cabinets in here, and you can see what appears to be two people in there as they are going through some of the files. You look to the right and left, and there are that, like I said, a big square is how it is, and you can see that there is some small offices on the left that sort of end at a wall, and some small offices on the right. Some of them are empty and don't really have anybody in them, and the lights are off because it's nighttime. And then a few of them have like people sitting in there, like typing at computers and playing on their phone. Everybody in here seems generally kind of distracted. And there is a way, it looks like if you just go to the left and around this hallway, there's a camera on that side too. You'll be able to get to a doorway that will lead you into that room full of files. Or you can get in any of these offices as well. The locks don't look difficult at all, and you assume that they probably aren't even locked, honestly.
Okay.
None of these doors have key cards in them because there's people in them going in and out. But you do have these cameras that are looking, and you get the feeling that you're not supposed to be here, or Gregory's not supposed to be here.
Can I acid spray the camera to my right?
Yes, you can.
As soon as it starts to turn back, just and like vomit some goo on it.
So you go, and you hear finally some action as you, and the acid like as the camera slowly starts turning and melts and doesn't.
Okay.
You can't see anything.
I want to stealth to go through that left hallway that you were talking about.
Go right
Sneak
ahead.
up on the other camera and get back into the file room. So that
Okay.
would be 27 stealth.
Oh my god. All right. So you, quick as you can, right to the wall as the camera looks, and you're like underneath it, kind of following its movement as it moves there. And then you make your way over to that door and open it. Just as you're gonna open it, and you see really quick a woman going, like, just turning to the left and going, Gregory, what are you doing here? And it didn't happen, but you know it's about to happen. And you're like,
Okay.
oh, and you duck down, and a woman looks to the left and then goes back to looking at files, and you're like, ooh, that's foresight kicking in. As you open up the door and shut it behind you, you are in this big file room.
Okay. I immediately... Are they labeled? I imagine they would be. Like, at least the files themselves saying, like, HR or, like, employee records.
These files are labeled in years. Each year. Now, there's about, 200, because the kingdom's been alive for about 200 years. And so there's about 200 of these files. These years are going back for about 200 years. So there's a bunch of files in here.
I go to the earliest year and try to find anything about the construction of either the city or the construction of this power plant.
Yes. So when you look at this and you start reading it, you find like sort of a tucked away. None of them are over here because they're not putting files away back in this area. I would say the lights are probably even like off in this section of the big square room. But either way, you start reading. And what you see is the plot for this power plant was constructed at this time. You see the blueprints for it. And when you look at the blueprints for it, it has corresponding blueprints to the city for the plots, just the main areas. And what you see are the plots for each of the power plants are around and connected to a massive plot in the center. That's where the factory is. And you're like, okay, that kind of makes sense to what Sam was saying. They're all connected. But when you're looking at it, it's drawn in a way where the streets are also included on this plan and are also kind of, and you see that they are interconnected to it as well. And you're like, well, that's weird. It shouldn't be a street map. It should just be like, and the more you look at it, you're like, it looks weird. And I want you to roll Arcana for me.
Oh boy. 18?
That's actually not bad. So
it was advantage. My first was 7. So
you read through it and you're like, this is
Story of a girl.
Stop it. This is some kind of, they basically connected the streets and the plots for these power plants as some kind of like ritualistic circle. The whole layout, as because you're looking at the earliest plans, which was fucking smart. You're looking at these designs, and this whole thing is some sort of magic circle, all connected. The whole fucking city. If the streets are laid out this way and the plots are, then the whole city is laid out this way, and are all interconnected, which you have to have for a circle to work. And you're like, holy shit. You don't really know what the circle does because that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
But they're doing something. Like this is weird, you know what I mean? So there's a lot more power in this city than originally.
Can I get on comms with Esther and Astrid?
Okay.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. I'm looking at some plans right now, and this whole city looks like some kind of giant-ass sigil, like the streets and everything. I'm inclined to say we still blow up these little things, but y'all are magic people. Do you have any idea what you could do with a, like, ginormous-ass magic circle?
You could hijack it.
I mean,
Couldn't-
it depends. It would depend entirely on what the circle is laid out to be.
Well, can we roll anything? Like,
Can
Yeah,
I
so-
use my Arthur phone to take a picture and send it to
No, but what you can do is describe it to them, and then you guys
been
roll.
waiting all game
What?
to roll.
And then you guys can roll Arcana. You go ahead and roll with your new dice system.
What am I rolling?
Arcana.
I start to describe what I can see.
Okay.
She
All
rolled
right.
shit. I can't wait to try out my new dice, and she gets a 5
22.
total.
Oh, well,
14's not bad. Esther, what did you get?
22.
Okay. As you're listening to it, you're like, it sounds like it's made to like protect, which would make sense because of the giant bubble. You're like, it's probably like a protection thing. Esther listens to it, and you're like, close, because of some of the like, there's a little bit that's inaccurate when it comes to that, and it's not for protection, but the difference could be easily made because this is for imprisonment. This is for locking something down. This is for protection from something getting out.
And what is creating this configuration?
the streets and the buildings. The city itself.
So the plans, now these were plans, essentially blueprints. These were documented plans. It seems like this was all signed off by Garland Brighthand 200 years ago, because all these champions have been alive for 200 years despite their race. He laid this out. These were his plans. He essentially created this giant sigil.
Does my Arthur phone work at all?
You try your Arthur phone?
I try to call Arthur.
No.
Okay.
It
Is
is
there-
utterly dead.
Is there any other information around this? What it could be containing?
Do you want to start flipping through more things?
I flipped through more files in that
All right, I
time
want
period.
you to roll investigation, because this is where it's going to get a little trickier.
Who's Wrestle Boy enthusiast?
Where's that?
Facebook.
Oh, that's Karina.
Oh,
This
okay.
is Wrestle Boy Enthusiast.
I thought it would get you.
Name?
She showed me Monster Factory.
I rolled a 15.
15? Okay,
Yes.
so give me 2 seconds. Let me look something up. Do. So, what you are looking through all of this, and it's not quite, there's nothing that like screams what this is for. It's just that everybody is abiding by it and that it is of utmost importance. That's kind of what you're getting from this. But the only mention is to house and channel and flow the eternal energy. So essentially what he painted this sigil to be was for it to properly flow and channel this eternal energy. And now you remember eternal energy is what Sam was originally here trying to destroy it, or was trying to find it because she was a spy. And then she was arrested by Garland. She
So
said
in-
the original thing, she never even meant to fight him. She just wanted to find the source of this eternal energy.
And it's
Garland, right?
also
Yes.
containing something.
I say
Now
we
none of
just
the notes
break it.
none of the notes mention that all of the official documents basically say no, this sigil is to house and contain and flow the eternal energy. So it is technically like a lockdown, but it's for the energy and in order to keep it in house and protect it.
Yeah.
And
So-
have it cycle
That sounds
through the
like
city.
fluff. There's something under the city. We should destroy it.
I agree. I feel like even if whatever is being contained here, if it's not just the human beings or whatever race, well, it might, even if it's not on our side, create enough havoc that it could be useful. So if everyone is okay with it, I say we continue with the plan to blow this shit up. Okay, do I find anything about the construction of these buildings in this time period?
In this time period, this is more layout for the city, things like that. It's probably like another, like, maybe like 3 or 4 years down before, because he constructed these first. So probably within like the first 2 or 3 years is when he made these power plants. So as you just kind of go through, you're able to find where these are being constructed. What kind of information are you looking for on its construction?
I am looking for, because I'm imagining that this power plant has to have some source of energy or it's channeling whatever.
Yep.
I feel like if I were to just smack the shit out of it with something, it's going to blow up and I'm going to die. So I want to try to get some kind of intel on how it's kind of constructed, or just like a basic idea of it, like cut the red wire pretty much.
Okay. So that's, I'll say you find it. You find the information, but I'm going to need you to give me an intelligence roll. Because now you're getting into a little more complex stuff, which is a little harder. I'll tell you what, either
intelligence saving?
No, just intelligence roll.
I don't know how I would do that. Is it, it would just be a D20 and then my plus or minus, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I rolled a 1 and then a 16. Does a 16 get me anything?
Yes. So from what you're seeing, there's no exhaust from this energy source, which is crazy. Like everything creates something and has a residue after being used as fuel. Whatever this energy is, isn't. And from what you're looking at, it looks like it's pure, like, arcane energy that's being funneled and utilized. It's magic.
It's made out of people.
Wrong. But as you're looking at it, you're like, okay, so if there's no exhaust, what you do see is that there is a heating issue, and that there needs to be like coolant for these power plants, because the arcane energy is raw and very potent. And so as you're looking at that, you're like, okay, so that's the biggest Achilles heel that I'm seeing. The coolant levels are regulated by the control room up top, and that's what controls all of these things. There is also down in like the basement, like maintenance levels, that's where this shit actually is. Probably have a higher percentage chance of dying down in the maintenance if you want to actually manually destroy these things. But if you want to have a safer go of it, you would go up to the control room, basically overload them, and then make sure that nobody can fix it when you leave. And then it would just be, you would literally just wait not very long, and then it would just blow up, probably giving you enough time to escape. That's the safe plan. The surefire plan is to go down to the maintenance tunnel and whack the shit out of something until it explodes, destroying the coolant delivery system, the coolant cells themselves, and then escaping.
Okay, I'm gonna sneak my little butt out of there and try to get up to the 5th floor. Then
you want to go to the control room?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll say with your stealth roll, you're able to, like, crab walk out of there. And you get back into your stairwell. You want to make your way up to the 6th floor, which I think is where I said the control room.
My bad. Yes, 6th floor.
As you make your way up, you get up to there, and as you look at this doorway, lock seems a little it's like red this time, the panel. And you're like even hesitant about swiping your card on it.
Yeah.
And as you look at it, you're like, okay, well, there is a window in the door, so you could see in and kind of check out what you're looking at.
I do that. I just imagine those cats like on the end of the bed where their pupils are blown, or like, just peeking over the edge.
So as you look in here, here's what you see. First of all, it's not just like one control room in this one area. You're looking at a very large room in front of you. To the right, you see what appears to be a bunch of monitors, and it looks like there's a person just kind of sitting in a chair watching them. There's sort of rounded desks. In the center, it looks like there's a bunch of different computers in there. There seems to be only about like 2 people working on them, and a large screen in the front, which right now is cut between like a ton of other monitors that they are all keeping an eye on and like looking around at. You can see like it's just a bunch of like gobbledygook jumble in front of you, but you know from what you're looking at that the coolant system, the control, is in here somewhere. It's just a matter of getting in here.
When you said that one of the floors was the servers, did I see anything about that in the paperwork?
That's right below you. So the server room basically houses all of the like electronical data and flow of information. So if you go down to the server room, you can like erase all of their shit, and you could possibly crash their computers.
So that would be my question: is, are we thinking of the control room as a monitor to the computer that is the server room? Like, it would have to pass through some kind of physical aspect. If I just get rid of the computer, then the monitor's useless.
Yes, but you're not sure what backup systems they might have. You could destroy the whole server room. It's probably very important. Whether it's surefire, you could try.
How many people are in that room again? I know you said at least 2.
In the control room? 3 people total. One guy is just watching these monitors, and he looks like some sort of security. He's got like a handgun on him and some armor. The other 2 guys just look like they're just working there. The other 2 guys look like they're just working there, typing on computers, not paying attention.
Can I roll something to look at the lock a little bit better?
Sure, intelligence.
Intelligence? Okay.
This is technology, not...
7. I'm not good with technology, so that makes sense.
All right, so you're like...
Help computer.
Help computer.
Yeah, you're not sure. You know for a fact you could just melt through. Like,
I know, but I'm trying to avoid that if at all possible. Can I roll stealth again?
Okay.
Get sneaky. And then literally like get on the back of the door, grab the handle, and just jangle it a bunch?
You're trying to get them to come and open the door.
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. So, yes. Go ahead and roll stealth.
Oh my god, these rolls are horrible.
It's okay, I'm not doing
The
great.
cabbage.
22?
Yeah, that's good. It's better than my 8. So, as you jiggle it, the guards, what the hell? And he comes over, and as he opens it, you are behind the door.
I'm like, if this is behind me, this is the door handle. I'm literally like grabbing onto the side of the door that he cannot see, and then when he opens it, trying to shimmy.
So
my way.
he opens the door and starts walking in to the area, and is like, and so now you're immediately like to his right, or are you behind the door with the way that the door?
If I'm the guard guy.
Yes.
Guard guy, which way does the door open? Out or in?
It's towards you.
So if he opens it this way, gets out. Mav is right here, behind him, on the door. He like yeets himself.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay. So with the stealth roll, oh my god, make a dexterity saving throw to not like bump into him or have him be like, hey, a full-size man just jumped past me. You know.
You said a dex saving throw?
Yes.
22.
20. Fuck. So as you just, is this all because of your advantage?
No, I've got a plus 11 to my dex,
Oh,
plus 17 to stealth, plus 17 to acrobatics.
You leap in and like tuck and roll and land as he opens this. I think this place is haunted. And he takes out his phone and starts like pointing it in the stairwell and goes, hey, it's me again, Security Boy 3410. I'm here with the stairwell. I think it's haunted. Like and subscribe, and let me know what you think.
Hang on, let me see if I still have. No.
Oh, if you guys had like tried to come into the city and like explore the city, oh, he would have been disgusted.
I use
This is YouTube of the
thaumaturgy.
city. What?
I use thaumaturgy down the steps a little bit to go, and then
Holy-
slam the door shut behind him with my foot.
Holy biscuits. He swipes the door, opens it again. You're like, oh shit. And he peeks in and goes, hey guys. And the other two guys turn like, yeah. And you're like in the corner, like, and they're like, yeah. And he goes, I have to go record this. I think there's a ghost in the stairwell. And they're like, do it. Oh, are you gonna put it on your blog? I love your blog. And they're like, yeah. And he's like, yeah. I'll put it on my blog. Okay, I'll see you guys. And he's like, okay, see ya. And they shut. And one guy goes, I'm a subscriber. And he goes, no way. He's like, yeah. How many subscribers do you have? He's like, I have 10. He's like, ooh, I've got 600. And he goes, I fucking hate you, Phil. And they go back.
While they're mid-conversation, can I roll to sneak attack one of them?
Yes, you may. Absolutely.
God.
Roll to hit.
14 plus 14, 28.
Yes, you do hit them. Which one do you want to hit? The one with 6 subscribers or the one with 600 subscribers?
600. Let's make some people sad.
Okay. And the guy goes, I really fucking hate you, Phil. As it's just like blood hits him in the face. As we see Phil, the man with 600 subscribers, has a dagger in his head. His head is on his keyboard. And the dagger goes and disappears as the guy's like, ghost! And he goes to take out his phone. And he's very quickly taking out his phone, and he's about to start.
I vomit his phone.
You what?
I vomit on his phone. The acid vomit.
Okay, I want you.
Would haste count for this?
You know what? Yeah, you could probably get to him in time. You could probably
Just like grab him from behind and just and, like, vomit all over his phone.
Okay, so you just as he takes out his phone, suddenly you. And you vomit. You're right next to him, just like wow, like a fucking blur of horror and spikes as you vomit on the phone and on the keyboard, and the acid just starts eating through both. And he goes, no, I just bought it. Oh god, ew, what are you? Oh, what do you look like Gregory still?
Yes, I would, wouldn't I? Unless I'm touching him, then he would know.
Gregory, are you a ghost? What is happening?
I want to smile in only the way that Mav can, with no lips. Just big rows of angry, like, gross, naggly fucking teeth and go,
you want to turn back into Mav?
Yeah, just
smile at him?
Gregory isn't here anymore, and unarmed, like, start chomping away at him and, like, smacking him in the head with my, like, I think I have spikes on my horns that technically don't exist anymore, but, like, just go
You have
ape shit
spikes
on him.
on your armor.
Yeah, so just go ape shit on him is basically the plan. Yeah.
And the blood just starts all over the consoles and computers as you're just ripping into him and tearing him apart. You just want to kill him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
You rip his fucking throat out and start bashing his face in with the spikes, and he is just a bloody mess. And then you stand up with blood all over you and some spittle from the acid that you wipe away, and you hear inside your head, better.
Shut the fuck up. Do you know how to code? And I start looking around at the computers and stuff.
Go to the big one. And you're like, and you look, and there's a large computer sort of in the center with like a larger monitor. You're like, okay. So you go over to that one, and you start typing away, and it says it requires a password. And you're like, fuck. And just as you are, inside your head, he goes, wait. Try sphincter.
You don't think it would be I love Astrid 500?
Okay, go ahead, try that.
Fuck you. Why do you think sphincter would be it?
I'm telling you, I have a foresight feeling that it's sphincter. Do you type in sphincter? I made you write sphincter.
I mean, she does have foresight.
One more entry remaining.
As you're like, God damn it, and you hear behind you, Mav, as you're arguing with this thing in your head, you hear, so what is the plan now?
I whip around like as fast as...
You're in a spinny chair, by the way. So you can So you spin around, and there is a woman sitting in another chair. She's dressed in fine clothes that almost look business casual, but more extravagant than that. She is wearing glasses and has sort of like a short bob kind of cut in her hair. She has like a fine watch on and a couple of rings. And she is sitting there and has a clipboard in front of her, like on her lap. And she's just looking at you, and she goes, I'm assuming, and I'm just going to guess, that your plan is to overload this building.
Is this a job interview? You got a clipboard.
No, I wouldn't say it's a job interview. I would say it's an interview of sorts.
Can I roll something to like... wait, actually, can I detect thoughts on her?
Go ahead.
I detect thoughts.
Okay, it does not work.
Great.
Mavicos, may I suggest
I don't like this.
that you perhaps ask who I am instead of trying to probe me? Probe me. Funny.
I don't have the facilities for that big man. Okay, I'll humor you. Who are you?
My name is Beatrice Trice. I am a champion of Stride, and until recently I was well, not the warden, but technically I told him what to do. I was the head doctor of Holy Stone Mine, which you have all seen destroyed.
How did you sneak up on me?
Oh, no, I didn't sneak up on you. I'm not actually here. This is I guess you could say a projection.
Can I go and like... Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's good, it tickles. No, I'm kidding, it doesn't. I'm projecting through your mind, actually, and through your eyes.
Ew.
So I can be anywhere that you are. And, but worry not, I am here not as a champion.
Oh.
I am here because I want to ask you some questions.
Can I roll perception or something to see if I can tell if she's lying?
Insight.
Insight?
Go ahead.
Oh, why did I make such a himbo? 11.
11?
Yes.
Seems honest. Seems truthful. He's giving no characteristics on her face that she's lying.
Do you see?
And
I am a doctor, Mavicos.
I don't like you.
That's fine. You don't. I'm a doctor of the mind, and I would like to figure more out about you. I would like to know about you.
How are you projecting through my brain? We've never met. What kind of tag lock bullshit are you pulling to be able to do this?
Oh, well, as you are aware, and I think it's fair that you're asking me questions if I'm going to ask you one.
While this is going on, I prop up a chair by the door so that if the security guy comes back, he's at least got a little bit that he's got to fuck with.
You move a chair to the door, and you look down, and you see him walking further down the stairs, and he goes, now, as you all know, I've studied many different paranormal investigations. And he starts going down the stairs. And she goes, good call. So, it's only fair that I answer your questions in order to establish some form of trust. What little trust we can have, trying to behead one another, of course. So, I am able to access people's minds. It is a gift that was given to me from Stride. I don't know if you're aware, but I am the one that developed the re-education system. Now, although you weren't unlucky enough to be sat in that chair, the other terrible three were. They will know of my work firsthand. We never quite got a hold of you, but I don't believe you came in until... And she looks through her clipboard. Well after the assault on Henlet, and after the assault on the tree... it looks like you came in shortly after the Terrible Three disappeared for a while. I'm not quite sure where they went, but I would assume that they went to Hell, learning that you are from Dis. Interesting. Fascinating.
Can I, while she's talking, turn on the microphone on my comms?
Sure. You want to try to do it stealthily without her noticing?
I want to lean up against
Roll
the
sleight.
chair. Roll sleight of hand? Okay. But that shouldn't be an issue.
Oh, you're thinking about it.
22? 22.
Okay, now make a wisdom saving throw.
Clicking the wrong thing.
You have
Wisdom.
You have to beat a 20.
What the fuck?
You
17
can't
plus
think about-
6.
What is it?
17 plus 6, I beat 20.
Excellent. So you and you click it, and she goes, so that is why I am able to do this. Do you answer?
Can the rest of them hear her?
Yes.
No.
Okay, see, that's what I was thinking.
They can
is
hear you.
If she's in if she's in my head, then there's
Is
no
in
way
your
that
head,
they would.
projecting
Okay.
from your head. Yep.
What did she just say? I'm sorry.
She says, so that's how I'm able to do this. It was a gift from Astrid.
Praise him.
Now, I would like to ask you a question, if you wouldn't mind.
How?
I would like to get back to this.
One more question before you start grilling me, Miss Champion.
Yes, of course.
How do I know
Dr.
that-
Trice is fine.
Dr. Trice? Okay. How do I know? And they're all hearing me speaking, correct?
Yes.
How do I know that if I answer your questions, you're not tricking me into being re-educated?
Ah, very fair. So I cannot of myself re-educate you. I have my own capabilities. If you attempt to attack me or things like that, it's happened plenty of times. But I cannot re-educate you on my own. I can get answers from people, but it's never answers that aren't true. I can't make you see something or make you believe in something that isn't at least a little bit true. That is the hang-up of my powers. You see, re-education requires a lot. It is an entire system and requires a direct connection to Astrid himself. I am not quite that. Though I can do quite a number on someone's mind and scramble it but good. I wouldn't really do that unless I was in danger.
Does anyone who hear this say anything to the question about questions?
What are you asking about your team, or are you asking her?
I'm asking about my team. Because all they would have heard was, how do I know if by answering your questions, I'm not opening myself up to re-education?
So you guys hear this and re-educate.
Guys, this doesn't sound good.
Av, are you okay?
No, nothing else.
What did you say?
He asked if I'm okay.
I know, but what did you say?
Nothing in character. I'm going to say to her, ask me your questions then. I won't promise I'll answer them.
Very well. Yeah, and she looks at her clipboard. Mavakos, you were not expected or known for some time. You came a good deal after the Terrible Three's initial assault on Massalia, the assault on Henlet, and as I said before, shortly after they disappeared, right as they entered the Valley of Varangol, I do believe. Now, you aiding them leads me to believe that you are also doing the bidding of Draxia, who I am aware is a demon goddess. Yes. Now, does working for a demon bother you? And she has a pen, like...
I don't see how this is relevant.
Ooh. Well, I would much rather get a truthful, actual answer out of you, and I think you could see that it could be very beneficial to you. I want you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Mhm. 22.
Okay, you get it. You feel her when she says that. It doesn't feel like she's trying to like break your mind or anything. Doesn't feel like the kind of shit that Astrid does. But when she says, I feel as though you should be honest. It may help you a great deal. You feel like, I mean, that does make a lot of sense. This is a champion. I'm not going to answer her. You know, it's almost like you're doubting yourself for a second there.
While she's talking, I get up and go to the computer where I just killed the guy, and I start looking for files that could have passwords in them.
Okay.
Like Word documents.
As you do, she sees you working on some files, and she goes, do you believe that perhaps you were tricked
by this demon, by any chance? I am creating a portfolio on the demon goddess of Draxia, and I mean, it just doesn't make any sense that a devil would work for her. After all, your people are in bloody war with demons. Perhaps you are being used. Perhaps Draxia plans on killing you after all of this. And I'd imagine she knows a few people that would be capable of doing so. Does this ever give you pause or give you worry? I want you to roll investigation while you're finding stuff.
Astrid, I witnessed you use your 2 thingies, right?
Yeah.
And you said investigation?
Yes. And then roll another wisdom saving throw for me.
15.
All at advantage.
Okay.
15 for investigation.
Okay.
Ugh, 9 for wisdom.
So as you're typing through it, you do find what appears to be, he has like a little post-it notes of passwords, and you got a 9 for wisdom.
Yes, 9 for wisdom.
You find the passwords, pull them out, and you're like, here's the thing. Everything that she just said, and I'm not doing this because you failed it, what I'm about to say is true. Everything that she said is very plausible based on what you know of demons.
Right.
And your upbringing and your raising. Demons are monsters. They will eat you. They kill you. They are the evil that evil is fucking looks under their bed for. They're fucking monsters. And she's a demon goddess. She's like a fucking demon lord. She's horrible. You have seen firsthand. There's no reason, none that she has given, that she wouldn't have you killed and wouldn't kill you simply for being here. And using you before killing you, though that's a little different for a demon, is not above doing things that a smart demon would do.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the part that happens because you failed. You really, and this is in character, you roleplay this to your ability, you are truly considering what she is saying. And what she said makes a lot of sense. And who would Draxia send to kill you? Draxia wouldn't kill you. She's not going to waste her time. She would let the terrible 3 gut you at the end. And knowing what you know about where you came from and how ruthless everybody, your entire upbringing has been, you don't see that as implausible at all.
Okay.
It's something that does indeed put a seed of doubt in your mind, and you play that however you wish to play that with your character.
Just to add on, though, I am also a tiefling.
You are.
So does that fit in there at all? You know
So
what I mean?
you are also a tiefling. You are not from Dis, and though you might have devil blood in you, it could be very, very few and far between. Mav was raised by devils in a city of devils, in the city in hell for devils that demons would very much like to destroy. Demons would look more at your kind of bloodline or your person as sort of just like another mortal that happens to have some devil or demon blood. You might have demon blood in you and you might not know.
Well, what I mean is, like, would that also pop up in his head, like, oh, but there is another tiefling in the party?
That depends on how Talia wants to play Mav.
Okay.
If Mav, given his life experiences, would come to that conclusion, is fine. But with what Beatrice Trice does, it's purely role play. She's not making you do anything. I want you to think in character. And you could always outthink me and do whatever you want, but this is a role play thing. Really think, how would Mav react and interact with what she's saying at that moment if you truly do consider it?
So I know you just explained this just for clarity in my mind. It is not a Mav absolutely has to attack his friends, but she's really making a good point.
It's not a Mav has to go and escape or kill your friends or abandon them. It's Mav is now thinking about this and might not trust them. And now you didn't really trust them before because none of you trusted her because you're evil.
Yeah.
But boy, howdy, does she bring up a good fucking point. Are you just being a fucking pawn right now? And is Astrid licking her lips, waiting to wear your skin like a fucking suit? What? What?
I said they're gone.
Are you?
We're lipless friends. We have no lips.
Lips are gone. So it's something to consider. And given the fact that you know them and you know their personalities, like, Headhunter, maybe not, but he would do anything if the other ones are like, hey, kill Matt. He'd be like, okay. Like, he might, are you going to give me money? Cool. Esther is weird. He might just throw you into an abyss of void and just be like, ha, like for a
I've never done that.
He's just bizarre. And then Astrid is, of course, an ever gnashing force of ambition that wants more and more and more. So all of this.
I have the list of passwords, right?
You do.
Is there any kind of clarification on them of like, this is our DoorDash password, this is our blah password?
Yeah.
Or is it like
you know how to access the main control computer?
I head back to the computer and I say to the goo in my head, is there something you can do to shut her up? You're taking up enough space as it is. You might as well pull your weight.
So when you say that, he goes, oh, I can barely move. I'm freezing now. And she goes, yes, he was trying to wriggle quite a bit, so I just nudged him over so that I could pop in and say hello.
So if anyone ever told you have horrible manners, lady, I go and type the password into the mainframe.
You type in the password. As you type in the password, you do see that you have access to the coolant system. Do you want to bring that up? Okay. You do so. You see in front of you, the whole screen opens, and you see the coolant room. There's an entire room dedicated to it, and it is like icicles. There is ice on the floor. It is almost like an ice cave in there with these massive tanks and tubes going up and these like metal, more of those magic panels attached to it and all kind of stretching up to the ceiling. And it's just like covered in ice. And she comes over and stands next to you and goes, ah, yes, Garland, he really does like that ring. One more question, Mavicos, and I'll let you continue your thing here. And this one's a bit of an easy one. Do you believe you will ever be allowed to return home? But more importantly, if you did return home, do you believe that they would ever think of you as equal?
Do you think you're actually going to offer me something useful? Because right now, it seems pretty one-sided to me, lady. I'm not going to give you anything else unless you tell me how to get rid of these icicles. Must know how we work. I do nothing for free.
You give me an honest answer, and I'll know if it's honest. And sure.
And what was the question? Do I think they would ever accept me if I went back?
1, do you think you would ever be able to go back home? And 2, would your people accept you?
I make her shake on it.
I can't. But you have my word as a doctor. Mavicos, I'm not
Give me your word as a human being, or whatever the fuck you are. Your word as a doctor means nothing to me.
I am a human being, but I am blessed as a god with long-lasting life. Perhaps everlasting. I haven't really seen the end yet. Mavicos, let me explain something. I'm not here to kill you or fight you. Sure, if the fight moves to Erangel, perhaps. If you come for me, then yes, I will fight you to the death to defend my way of life. But as of now, I seek to aid those who I see as troubled. And though your friends are very powerful and you as well, you all are troubled. I know that your upbringing in Dis bothered you. I know that you strived and tried to prove yourself. I could see it, I could feel it. But I want to hear your opinion, what you believe and what you think.
Tell me about these icicles first.
After that was the deal.
Was it? Someone rewind on that.
Yes, she said, if you answer the question honestly, I will help you get rid of this.
But then she didn't shake on it, and then she didn't swear on her race.
She can't shake on it, but she's explaining to you why.
Yeah, but then she said that she's going to swear on something.
Another insight on her telling the truth?
Listen, here's the thing. If I answer her before she does this, I'm going to have to make another wisdom saving throw that I very well could fail, which means she could hijack my fucking brain. Or I can just completely guess on these icicles. So I think I'm going to completely guess on these icicles and make shit blow up because my statistics aren't looking good.
So you definitely failed the last wisdom saving throw, and she did not take over your mind. She just implanted a an uncovered.
Yeah, but how many more
Consent.
times do I want to let her do that? Is what
That's a
I'm
good
saying.
question.
I don't. So I'm gonna say fuck you and the horse you rode in on, and turn back to the icicles and start smashing everything that looks like it says red or are you sure? If I get an are you sure, I'm gonna hit okay on all of them.
Okay. So you just start fucking banging it out, and she goes, and she just starts writing stuff down while watching you. As you start, boom, you hit something.
I'm in.
That is like it goes total revert, and then you're like yes, and then it goes reversion restart automatic, and you're like no, and it says like backup backup generator whatever, and you're like no, and it says backup arcane protection, and you're like deactivate, and shit like that, and you're just turning everything off, and it's like are you sure you're like yes, and it's like so many firewalls and protections, and then you're just banging through it, and eventually you reach where it is something that requires Garland Brighthand's password. And she goes, ooh, uh-oh. He's kind of a control freak, he said.
Does it tell me how many tries I get? No, it doesn't have any indication. So typing sphincter.
You hear type in sphincter. You know that thing is a parasite, right?
Can I get Corlax on the horn?
Sure.
Hey, Louise Guzman.
You hear, God, please no. Yeah, what do you want?
You got close to this right hand guy, right? You got pretty close to killing
Close
him.
enough. Sure.
What's his password?
Honestly, probably his fucking name. Put in Brighthand. You do so?
Yeah.
Bing.
Thanks, man.
Trace goes, such an idiot. as she's just watching you type it. And with that, you see like this, and a bunch of sirens start going off. And she goes, oh. And checks her watch. Oh, it does seem to be our time for now. Are you going to make your escape now?
What is that? Hang on just a second. There's a song I'm thinking about. I'm not going to play it because obviously I don't want us to get copyright strike.
Mm-hmm.
I go back over to one of the other computers and I go into Poop Tube and I look up Bulls on Parade by Rage Against the Machine and flip her off and then walk out of the building.
You walk out into the stairwell as the alarms start going off. The security guy starts running up the stairs. Do you kill him or just go past him?
I mean, all of them have disadvantage on attack, plus the fact that they get double disadvantage for foresight. So I imagine I just kind of like swoosh out of the way of people and haste my way out of the building.
Okay. As you leave and walk out, she is standing in like on the one portion of the stairwell that isn't the stairs, and you like see her as she's just writing stuff as you're walking by. Each level that you go to, you can see her standing in one of the rooms just writing and watching you as you are leaving. And eventually, as you walk out of the same side door using Gregory's pass, you walk out and you hear like and like shit starts fucking exploding as you're like and start making your way. Alex, you can start hearing sirens.
Is that my cue?
Get it.
Oh.
Blow it.
As and Sneak goes, yeah.
I said blow it.
I am.
Blow the bombs now.
Trying, and it's and now a bunch of buildings start blowing up in Brightopolis, just as you hear what sounds like some great horrible beast roaring in the distance. And you're like, whew. And as you kind of step out into Brightopolis, Mav, you kind of back up in the streets and you hear, so I assume it's
straight to his factory then.
I reach into my pocket, completely ignoring her. I look at the ice cream cart. Is there an address on there?
Yep. It's 1 block away.
I go fucking to the ice cream place. What's it look like? What's happening?
As you go to the ice cream place, they're like, what's going on? And you arrive and slap that shit on the table just as more of the factories are blowing up. The other power plants are exploding. And you see the dome like kind of struggling to hold itself together as these power plants are being detonated. The man's like, what's happening? Do you look like Mavicos?
Why not? Could I get a, what did I get with Esther? Can I get a single scoop with some chocolate and some rainbow sprinkles, please? And I put some teeth on the counter because I still haven't gotten human money the entire time I've been playing.
And he rushes to make you some.
Teeth is universal.
Do you leave him alone after you?
Yeah, I take it and I go, oh wait, and then I reach over the counter and I grab a punch and I punch the card. I'm like,
Your next cone is free.
oh really? Thanks, man. You have a good one, okay? And I just tuck it back in and I go outside and I enjoy the scenery with my ice cream cone.
As you walk away, licking your ice cream, looking at the burning city, we see Beatrice Trice writing down something in her clipboard, standing next to the ice cream man. The ice cream person, as he's sitting there, like, and he runs away from his thing. And I think we will end it there.
But what about the barista?
We gotta go.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the barista. I just go, huh? No
There's
cowboy
still a
hat.
lot more to be done.
Yeah,
in
don't worry. Maybe
Brightopolis.
that's how we'll start next time.
That was awesome.
Thank you. So that's it for today. I'm going to stop recording now.
I went full circle.
Goodbye.